Obviously, there are some really bad hurricanes hitting the southeast, especially Florida right now. Hurricane Milton is heading its way to Tampa area. I can't imagine what everyone is going through. I mean, the looks of it seems so scary, especially after what Helene did to the southeast. I just really hope people are evacuating and getting somewhere safe and listening to your officials when they tell you to evacuate and where to go and what to do. It seems so scary.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are definitely with the people dealing with this right now. And if you want to help the people in need, we're going to post a link to donate to help those people facing those hurricanes in our show descriptions. So please give and support what you can. But certainly there are a lot of people out there who need your help. So again, do what you can.
You're crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I'm your host, Nick, joined by the household. So much to get into. How's everyone doing? Love it.
Should we address your outfit before you get roasted in the TikTok comments?
I think it looks good. It looks good.
That is the problem, Justin.
That is the problem, Justin. My man is getting bullied.
Am I?
No, I don't know.
I haven't looked, but we just made a bunch of clips of me wearing a slightly too tight tank top.
It was a cowboy hat.
We're getting the people talking.
We are.
The people were pissed.
They
It's
did
decade day.
They did a double take. Did they not?
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
we'll see.
Yeah, but what's
Yeah.
going to happen when, I don't know, even a month from now, or God forbid, 2 years from now, and it's still on the internet, and people are going to be like, why the fuck is what was Nick having a weird day?
Original air date October.
Maybe
There
we
we go.
should put
Yeah.
at the top of all of our cut downs Halloween
Disclaimer.
outfit.
In the caption?
Yeah, decades. This is feeling more like Spirit Week, less like Halloween.
Yeah. Well, Nick was like, we have to be easy on these. So I was like, oh, okay.
Well, no, it was just
Student
more like,
government.
it was more, we have a kid, and
Yeah,
every
it's valid.
morning we can't wake up and
Prosthetics.
Face paint.
put a whole...
I need
we can't Heidi Klum it every morning before we come into the studio.
Yeah, we need a crazy sock day, pajama day,
Crazy hair day, backwards
sports day.
Yeah.
This is Spirit Week here at the Viall Files.
There you go. Spirit month.
Anyway, this is my attempt at 70s.
It's working. The chest is out.
The chest is out.
Chest is
Giving
out. Got some
disco.
polka dots. I haven't worn this shirt since.
I'm pretty sure I tried to throw it away several times.
Why haven't you? Honestly,
Well,
it's
I
a little too
don't
small
know.
for me, which is alarming.
John Travolta, the house down boots.
Exactly.
This shirt fit 2 years ago.
Nick has lived through 100 decades, so he was able to pick wisely. I
That's cool.
didn't. I'm just young and young.
Babe, do you
So-
know the band that you're wearing?
Well, I know-
that. Who's the lead singer of this band?
Sheriff.
Wow.
Sting.
You thought I was right?
I didn't know.
It's the police. The sheriff is the lead singer. No, the reason I have this shirt is because my mother, we know her, we love her. Her younger sister got this exact same shirt at a police concert
In, the 70s.
in the
I don't know,
70s.
whatever.
Let's go.
The OG original.
OG
Yeah.
original, and she brought it to our house,
Preserved.
and our naughty dog Steve destroyed it.
Well, I mean, but not completely.
The vintage band tee?
The vintage band tee. So I was like, I
would
need
die.
to scour the internet,
Yeah.
as I am good at, obviously.
Mhm.
Hello.
The birthday
And-
present did show up.
No.
It's remarkable. It is a custom official Packer leather jacket.
Oh, wow.
And it almost looks like it was custom made because you can't find anything like that. But it is official NFL merch.
Wow.
Did you instantly put it on and wear it around the house all day?
Instantly put it on. I did not. It was at nighttime, so I did not wear it around all day.
A lot of people were messaging me or commenting on my little fall dump I did the other day, and they were like, "Is when you wore that T-shirt from Abercrombie?" And they're like, "Is this the vintage shirt for his birthday?" I was like, "No,
Not here yet.
Oh,
But
that's cute.
it is vintage inspired, so it does look a little vintage. Anyways, thank you for the best.
You're
birthday
welcome.
present
Anyway,
ever.
so back to I scoured the internet for this police shirt to give back to my mother because I was like, I feel so bad. She was kind of almost in tears, and then she was like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll keep it. And she wears the distressed original version
Oh.
still.
So she
to
likes
this
the
day.
beat down, ripped up.
Well, I think she's learning to love.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a style.
Synchronicity.
Exactly.
still-
True
It's
synchronicity.
the original, it's a little different.
Her grandbaby said, I want you to think of me every time
Mhm.
you put this on.
Well, you could almost
Exactly.
say that shirt could have been a message in a bottle.
That is
Nice.
so beautiful.
And that's why it's distress.
That is absolutely
really is
beautiful.
beautiful.
That was
Yeah.
poetic.
Collective
Thank you.
aw.
Yeah.
Aw.
Mhm.
Well, we have an amazing show lined up for y'all.
The police.
We have Monica. I know who this might be confusing because she was with us on Tuesday, but then we watched this next batch of episodes and we were like, holy shit, we need Monica fucking back.
My God.
Because we need to find out what the heck happened between her and Steven because that was
Crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, it's like, I don't think we were expecting it. I do feel like with Steven, it was like, okay, maybe that, like, you know, I'm not blown away that he has secrets.
I think it took us by surprise because it was like it was just like thrown in our faces, like what happened. He was at a sleep test and then was sending like some kinky weird text, and then it was like
They
we're
were
done.
deleted. Yeah, it was a whole lot of nothing, or a whole lot of everything, but
with
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then they broke up, and then that was it.
But then there was like
no-
this build right before that of him kind of like, you know, the party, the get together where he was like
Interrupting
bizarrely
me.
talking about blowjobs and like how
from
you know
groupies.
Oh yeah, that
from like
was weird.
groupies, and then
In a year from now.
and then like his conversation with Monica was more like, hey, just if you like it in the butt, just I'm down. It's like
Yeah,
holy
shit
shit,
got
like,
weird
Yeah,
really
it was just he
quickly.
was trying so hard to like see how much of a freak she might be.
Oh, that's my biggest ick.
Anyways, we'll get into that later this episode.
Wait, what's your biggest ick?
I don't know, just like when men try to casually have a conversation about sex, like if we're already doing it, we don't need to talk about it. And if we're not doing it, I don't need to hear about yours.
Is it a bigger ick than throwing a passive-aggressive temper tantrum because your partner won't get on birth control because you don't want to wear condoms?
No, that was
Mm.
crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean that one, but that one I feel like I could hold my own. The sex thing, I'm like, like I just stop
So
talking.
like with the birth control, you would just get pissed and
Yeah.
ready to fight back.
Shut up.
But with like the do you like it in the butt, you can't really
Malfunction.
And I could just
You-
only yeah.
You shut down.
Yeah, I'm like, and she's like, I chose you. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, that was, I think, maybe the second, maybe third time he said, like, I want you to treat me like I'm meat. I want you to jump me. And she was like, I
see you as
Oh,
a
he's
human
into,
being.
yeah, he's into some he likes the
Freaky stuff.
he likes pegs, being pegged.
Just occasionally.
Hey.
I won't beg for
occasionally,
it.
for his birthday or
I
something.
love how
was
he was like,
whoa.
I mean,
Yeah.
not every day.
Whoa, okay. She's like, I've seen a
Whoa.
foot rub.
We're
Whoa.
not yucking anybody's
No,
yum.
we're not yucking anyone's yum, and we're not king shaming. We are self-awareness shaming.
It was the like, we're doing this on camera for the world to see, like, it just out of nowhere. It just
Also,
felt
like,
like
you know, in a context of like hiding this very important part of you, you know, until you get engaged and you reveal this between an engagement and a wedding. That's crazy.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. If 1 second you're talking about not knowing if you want to walk down the aisle with me, and then the next day you're asking for my butt, like it's not. The contrast is
Yeah,
not.
I'm not interested.
No, exactly.
I won't be bending over. I think that's what she said. I wouldn't be bending over.
Verbatim.
They had hours to talk in the pod, and you didn't want to bring up the fact that you like a little bit of pain.
I feel like that
During
maybe,
sex?
and we can honestly ask Monica or anyone else that we interview from Love Is Blind is like, are kinks discussed? Because
What
I
isn't
feel like
discussed?
that.
What is off limits?
Because I feel like kinks is like, listen, that's what you're into, and like if I'm your wife, like I wanna please you the way you want to be pleased. But if I got to do some crazy shit I'm not comfortable with, I need to know that beforehand.
But this
Will
isn't even
you
about
peg
really
me?
kinks. This is about the fact that he clearly, despite being an engaged man, he clearly had a unique lifestyle going on prior to the show, and for whatever reason decided to go on the show, even though like living in this universe, whatever this universe is. And then when he got outside of the pods, he tried to like, you know, what's the difference between that and like the guy who has a second family? He was trying to have two different lives at the same time. You know, he was trying to.
Tyler.
A little different.
It's a little different.
Also, it was
Getting
yeah.
pegged,
I mean, in a
having
way,
That's
he
another
was
combo.
trying to hide a side of him that he didn't want. He wasn't ready to share with her.
But wasn't he just a sperm donor?
Yeah.
We're talking about Steven or Tyler here.
Well, no,
Tyler.
because you
Oh,
just
I
said the
think
second.
we moved
No,
on.
no,
That's
no.
I'm like,
Sorry.
but
Because you said second family, and I was
Oh.
like, huh, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
He,
yeah.
Well,
Really
that seems unclear.
really quickly, he does say sperm donor, but there are photos of him very much involved in these children's lives, like
Yeah,
Christmas,
so it-
like
yeah,
on,
complicates it a little bit.
like
Also,
it's giving not sperm donor, but
Because sperm donor, I mean, that's an interesting conversation.
It
If
is,
that's something you
yeah.
need to reveal. Like, if you were someone like in college who like needed a couple bucks and you just didn't think twice about it, and then you turn in some sperm, and then 5 years later you're dating someone who's like, wait, technically I guess you're a dad out there, but he's like, yeah, I guess, but I don't really know. I signed a waiver. I'm not involved. Blah 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 blah. Like, that's not the same as like being in like.
But like, what if it's his close friends and he just like helped them have babies, but like they live in the same neighborhood?
There's
Like,
clearly more to the story.
true.
And
Yeah,
that
like his-
definitely should have been discussed in the pods.
Because if he had nothing to hide, he wouldn't have hit it. It would have
Before-
been a beautiful story.
Or like maybe he doesn't like see them as his children in that type of way, so that's why he didn't bring it up because he is the sperm donor that like helps takes care of the kids, but they're not his kids.
He just shows up.
I don't know. There
I
seems
don't
to be
know.
more to the
We'll
story.
see.
Speaking of sperm donor, are y'all a part of BrettTok?
I have no idea what that is.
What?
Does he donate sperm?
No, this is the craziest story ever. I came across it yesterday. It's called BrettTok, and people are like, surviving Maria is like this story. So basically, this man named Brett, he had a one-night stand with this woman named Maria, and they both like equally agreed, like, you know what, not each other's person. That was fun, like, bye. And then a few years later, she's like, hey, like, I really want to have kids. I haven't been lucky in love. Like, would you please like get me pregnant? And he was like, thought about for a while, weighed the pros and cons, and then was like, yeah, sure, like, I'll help you out. Signed a whole thing being like, I'm not involved. This is a you thing. I'm literally just giving you my sperm. Fast forward, he like goes out of town for something. He's away for work for a while. She's like
How
contacting.
much did you fast forward? Is she pregnant?
She's pregnant. She's
okay.
pregnant.
I don't know.
And
Could've been a
she's reaching out to his family to like invite them to the baby shower.
Oh.
She's like hanging out with his family. So then his parents are like, Brett, honey, like maybe you should be involved. Like it's a girl, like you have a daughter, like maybe you should. And he was like, like maybe, okay. He goes to the hospital. He's there for the birth. He's very much involved in her life. He works a lot. So he's like out of town a lot. I think he has an Airbnb. Like that's his source of income or something. And she's like, can we stay in your Airbnb? We like don't have anywhere
how
else
does
to
he get
live.
income?
Exactly.
I mean, if he's got one Airbnb. Okay,
And she's living in it.
Yep.
And so she stays in it for a while. Then she's like, if you want to see our daughter, like you've got to pay all of her child support and you can have her for 1 weekend a month at your parents' house. And he's like, okay, like what, he's very much like, okay, whatever.
Whose POV is this story?
This is Brett's
Okay.
POV.
Mm.
I think Maria has been running her mouth and
Okay.
I just haven't come across that yet
Maria
on my For You
Talk.
page.
Yeah.
All right.
Maria Talk, Surviving Maria, I believe. Anyways, and so then she gets this new boyfriend. He gets a new girlfriend. The boyfriend is around the daughter a lot. He tries to get his girlfriend around his daughter. She's like, Maria's like, absolutely the fuck not. Like, you're not about to have some chick around my kid. And she's like posting all this stuff on Facebook being like, he's not around, he's not present, he's a deadbeat dad, like fuck this guy, nah. His like family's getting involved in the comment section on Facebook, like she's saying crazy shit, right? He pays her child support. He pays her $10,000 up front and then $750 a month, okay? For child support.
But does he legally have to? Didn't they sign something saying?
She asked for child support. He's like, you know what? He's being very like, I'll just help you.
generous.
I'll help you. Like, it's my kid, whatever. Finds out paternity test, not his kid.
Whoa!
Not his kid. So he makes this whole video. She responds and she's like, the collection date was August 24th, 2024. Well, I had my daughter August 24th, 2024. This girl's like 3 years old. It's crazy.
What?
So for
Yeah.
3 years, this man thought it was his.
Literally. I don't know if
Wow.
she's actually 3, but she's not a newborn.
Wow.
Poor Brett. Don't even know who
Wow.
Brett is.
I know.
They should go.
Truly.
Is Jerry
Surviving
Springer
Maria.
still a thing?
Maury.
Maury!
Povich.
Oh my God, get
You
these girls
are
on Maury!
Not the father.
Crazy. So everyone's like, take her to court, get that 10K
Yeah,
back.
Judge Judy needs to
Judge
get it on
Judy.
that.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
how persuasive is this woman? I'm like, she literally bamboozled him
Bamboozled.
into doing exactly what he said he
He
wasn't
was
going to
like,
do.
so basically she was pregnant before I slept with her. And then was like, I'm
Whoa.
ovulating. Oh, I'm pregnant.
Must be
It
you.
worked.
She needed
Like,
that
thanks so
money.
much.
She needed that Airbnb.
Did.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
I mean, honestly, Brett, though, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
I like
I think he was trying to help his friend.
I like to think that Maria had like a cork board behind her with all of the red tape
weren't
going like
friends.
Airbnb check, 10,000 check.
He had a one-night stand with someone.
Yeah, I know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Bummer.
Anyways, we'll really break down Love is Blind later in the episode, especially when Jutes joins us. You may know him as Demi Lovato's fiance. He's got some new music coming out. He's also a big Love is Blind fan. Him and Demi have been watching it like crazy, and he's joining us to break it all down later this episode. I know we mentioned we have the sweet gentleman Charles, who sadly went home last night. Unfortunately for us, not for Charles. Charles is traveling the world. He is enjoying life. He's had some internet issues, so we wanted to wait till next week to bring Charles on so that we could clearly understand him and let Charles enjoy his vacation. But fear not, we have Keith joining us in his place. Keith, who he's cried, just a big, tall, beautiful man crying because Chalk went home, which, by the way, like, spoiler alert, I mean, I don't know this for sure, but how does Chalk not win at this point? His mom died, he left, and then came back? I mean, come on.
It's very much giving
Plot
winner.
twist.
I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
you know?
I say the top two are going to be Chalk and Mark, and then
It's
your
Chalk
new
and who-
Golden Bachelor.
It's Chalk, and then who gives a fuck? As far as Joan is concerned, it's like the Joan and Chalk show, and then like the friendship, all the boys falling in love with each other, which I'm
here for.
I'm here for. Like, I loved everything about this episode. Speaking of drama, I don't know, maybe you guys may or may not care about this before we jump into stats versus vibe, but if you guys love drama, you have to be paying attention to what's going on with the New York Jets.
And why is that?
Do tell.
Because they fired their coach, Robert Saleh, who, by the way, is best friends with your boy, Matty LaFleur. Our Peter Schrager, who was joined us a couple weeks ago to talk about the NFL, because you got Matt LaFleur, you got Robert Saleh, you got Sean McVay, you got Shanahan. They're like the young up and coming coaches, and everyone's been having success except for Robert Saleh. But Robert Saleh, you know who he coaches? Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, who's kind of an old diva at this point, and so there's a lot of speculation. So what happened was, like, Aaron Rodgers, offensive coordinator who used to play for the Packers, he's not very good. He's not a good coach. Everyone knows this. I'm not even trying to talk shit, but Rodgers likes him. And when you have a Hall of Fame old quarterback, he kind of gets his way, especially when you play for an organization like the Jets, who is like literally hasn't won in forever. So
And they don't
desperate.
have a mascot.
They're desperate. They don't have a
No mascot.
No mascot. And so Aaron Rodgers is kind of like, I want my friend here. I want this friend here. It's how do you win when you like are hiring your friends who like are no longer good at football, or like when you're hiring coaches who like aren't necessarily good at coaching. But like Aaron Rodgers, God bless him, he's done a lot of great things for the Green Bay Packers, but he is like
He said the whole family eats.
running the ship, so to speak. And so speculation is that they tried to fire his friend, which, may or may not be true. And then 5 minutes later, guess who got fired? Robert Saleh. So a lot of people are thinking that Aaron Rodgers got his coach fired, and then Robert Saleh got escorted out of the building. He showed up for work, thought he was coaching for a game, and then got escorted out of the building, which some say, like, hey, that's what happens, you get fired. But I don't believe most coaches get escorted out of the building by
that's
security.
Fucked up.
Yeah, like,
Did
can we
they
send an
think he was-
email?
Yeah, did he think
A phone call?
A phone
An
call,
email?
perhaps?
Yeah.
This is at the game or the practice?
I mean, it was a Tuesday morning.
Okay, so less embarrassing, but
Yeah.
Still pretty. Everybody that
He
knows
wasn't allowed
you
to address
was
his
there.
team or anything like that. Or maybe
he couldn't
that's
even address the team?
No. Yeah, he
Why?
was because he's fired.
I wonder if they said he was like a danger or something.
No,
Whatever
I mean, I
excuse
don't
they
know.
had, they were like, he can't talk.
But the good news is for him, he signed a contract. They still owe him. He's making, I don't
Oh.
know, like for the next 2 years, I don't know, millions of dollars.
easy
Oh.
money. There you go.
Oh.
Well, I like that setup.
Yeah. You
I don't
to-
have to show up to work and I still get my
Honestly,
salary.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers getting his coach fired?
Well, we don't know
Yeah.
that, right?
Well,
You're saying that's
I
alleged?
mean, I think I think if Aaron Rodgers wanted to keep his coach, he wouldn't be, I think he'd still be the coach.
Is this what the Jets do? Do they like escort everyone who gets fired out?
I don't think this happened. I've never heard of a coach being escorted out of the
Yeah.
building.
Has Robert said anything?
Well, through people like Peter, that he was shocked. He didn't see it coming. Did not see
do you
it
think
coming.
he's gonna like address the world at all? Like maybe do like Instagram live?
Oh my god. Oh my
Unclear.
god. YouTube video. I got fired and escorted from the Jets.
I
not
think he should do
clickbait.
like an 8-part TikTok series.
Yes.
Yeah. Really lean into
Do
the
you feel
drama.
like he's the type, or
Um,
do you think he's just
No,
gonna?
I don't think he's the type.
It
No.
says that he broke his silence after firing.
Broke his silence. So dramatic. I love it.
But
See?
it seems like he took the high road
Yeah,
and
he
was
did.
like thanking the Jets for the opportunity to work with so many incredible people. I will always be
Boo.
appreciative of the love and support from everyone from one Jets drive.
Snooze.
I mean, he's going to get a job somewhere else. He'd have to be a
Boring.
defensive coordinator again before he gets to be a head coach again. But, I think a lot of Packer fans are hoping because he's besties with Matt LaFleur that he's still getting paid, that he comes maybe and like comes as a consultant, for maybe a little bit.
That
Uh,
honestly sounds like best case scenario. Sometimes getting fired in that type of situation, like you're still getting paid, you get your severance money, and you
I
get
mean,
to just
honestly,
hang out.
it's kind of a Looney Tune bin over at the New York Jets
Yeah.
address.
Hear me out. I think I accidentally dyed my hair purple and it like triggered something in the universe. And it was like, boom, boom, fire, boom, boom, lose. Like it like just
Butterfly effect.
like the butterfly, like Armageddon. Like what if this triggered the end of the world?
Whoa.
Think about it.
So you think your hair is connected to the National Football League?
Maybe.
Okay. Let's
Well,
dive.
actually, what I heard is his hair is connected to the universe.
That's what I
Oh,
on,
okay.
a, on a grander scale.
Sorry. I wasn't thinking globally. I was
The
thinking
football
locally.
is some people's universe.
God complex. Man.
Mm.
No.
Wow. Taylor Swift's really embracing her fandom.
She is. She
Yeah.
wants to fucking kill herself.
Well,
She
listen.
said that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, there is a
Allegedly.
video of her responding to a play, we presume, by Travis Kelce, and her mouthing what we think is
Who's
trigger
we?
warning.
Is that us thinking that or like the internet? thinking
I
that?
think it's we need to be careful before we speculate about reading lips.
Natalie's good at lip reading. I remember this.
She's good at lip syncing.
Oh. Wait. Didn't we read? No, because wasn't someone on a red carpet before like a while back and you like understood everything they said?
Oh, I feel like actually that's
I
true.
forgot who it
I mean, we can all
was.
guess, sure.
You should do one of those like bad lip reading videos.
That's which is very prevalent in NFL footage.
Here's how-
And you can see Brittany Mahomes going, fuck, fuck, fuck.
I mean, that looks pretty
It could be
fucking
a
kill
million.
myself.
It does
Yeah.
look like it.
Well, once we
Yeah.
have that in our
And-
head,
Yeah, that's all you can see.
that's all you can
Okay.
see.
What kind of looks like oh my god as well. You can see that in there.
I don't know.
Well,
She's a
it-
professional enunciator.
Well,
so
I think the important takeaway
think
here
it's
is
true.
that like she is a real fan. She's not just
That's
showing
true.
up
Yeah.
for the glitz and the glamour and the attention. She is all in. She is invested.
Yeah.
And just like me, when something bad happens, she stands up, screams, and says something crazy like "Catch the fucking ball!" as if like I
Yeah.
could do that, which I can't. But
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? Like she is
She's in it.
passionate.
She's real. She's upset. She's emotional. She's traumatized. She's a fan.
She's a fan.
yeah.
Short for fanatic. Let's not
She is
forget.
football.
Yeah.
She is
Well,
football.
Do you think she's more vibes or stats?
I think Taylor's definitely stats. I think
Yeah.
she.
Yeah.
She's a mastermind.
Yeah.
She's
She's
yeah.
like, you want me to guess who wins? Let's break down the data. I
she's
think.
like, yeah.
Yeah, she wants data.
She wants Easter eggs. She wants data. Tree
Easter
Payne is like
eggs.
Tree Payne is giving her like a 6-page document on every single player.
What if we find out that like because of her like just real investment in the NFL, then turns out that like Taylor Swift has a gambling problem or something?
That's what I was
Mm.
That'd
thinking.
be kind of crazy. I don't
What if
think
the
she will.
games were being rigged for Taylor Swift's enjoyment?
No,
I mean, they did win last Super Bowl, the
Yeah.
Chiefs.
they did.
They're going for a
And that's when
three-peat.
she started dating him.
Yep.
Well, before.
Well, but right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
In between their first
Sure,
and
sure, sure.
second one.
Good
Mhm.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we gonna accuse Taylor Swift of being a bandwagon fan now? What else? are
No,
we gonna...
I'm accusing her of running the NFL,
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
calling shots.
I did for a while have a conspiracy theory that like this was all a grand scheme. Before I was like, oh, they actually look like they're just in love. I was like, this is a grand scheme. Taylor Swift is partnering with the NFL in order to like bring revenue back to the NFL.
And good
like
for her.
I was like convinced.
I think the NFL's making so much money.
Yeah.
They are the number one like television show primetime, right? There's like some
Ever.
stat. Yeah.
Yeah, but they want to be 4 quadrant, and a quadrant they were missing was Swifties.
I think they
Good
have
set.
welcomed Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Into
Oh,
the NFL
I think
with
my
open
conspiracy
arms.
theory was proven wrong.
Yeah.
But like for a
Mine
minute
too.
there, I did believe it.
Okay.
Anyway, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Lions and the Cowboys.
The Lions and the Cowboys.
Mhm.
I'm
Cowboys
curious
sound cool.
how
Cowboys
Mary
sound hot.
Yeehaw.
Lions?
similar colors.
Okay. Similar colors, but let's start with the Detroit Lions. So they were originally the Portsmouth Spartans of Portsmouth, Ohio, but moved to Detroit in 1934. They're named the Lions because of the baseball team, the Tigers. So,
Is that true?
yeah, according to Wikipedia.
No.
Yeah.
These people are so unoriginal.
I know, but
like
synergy.
Jets, it rhymes with Mets. It's like
Synergy. I don't know. Anyway, their colors are Honolulu blue,
Honolulu. Cute.
silver, black, and white. And apparently the owner was just like inspired by the water in Hawaii, but for Detroit,
The owners of these teams pick the names of the colors.
I
sometimes.
I did not know that.
I think it's
I
like
I
didn't
mean,
know
it
that.
is
front of
their
house.
team.
I don't know.
If you, I mean, it's
They
I
pay for it.
guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
it's their toy.
If I had one, it'd be like pop your pussy pink. And I'd make everyone like have to say that.
Wait, that
It's
was
a very
great.
specific color too.
Right?
Like I can
Yeah.
see it.
You can
Pop
see
your
it.
pussy
I would
pink.
love to see the grown men in suits doing their like sports center. All right, we've got an update from team owner Natalie Joy.
Color changed.
Pop your pussy pink.
That's incredible. I would wear. I imagine it's a beautiful, beautiful shade.
It's giving like
and-
kind of fuchsia. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Triple
yeah.
P.
Yeah.
Does it
Triple
does it
P.
glow in the dark?
PPP.
Oh, maybe.
Like when you turn off the light, do you still kind of whoop, see it?
Oh, I
Lumin-
would love that.
Yeah.
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 Illuminescent.
Bioluminescent.
Bioluminescent.
Yeah.
It is the same
Is that
colors
what
as
that
the
is?
Dallas Cowboys.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Different shades. Because I don't know. I don't understand why it's Honolulu blue when it's in Michigan. But this
Yeah.
is also how I found out. Well, not found out. Remembered that Detroit was in Michigan. I always forget. I forget that Midwest states still exist in the Midwest.
Canceled.
Sorry.
Wow.
Cancel.
Well, and, like when I went to school in Chicago, I fully thought it was in Indiana until I realized I was moving to Illinois.
No, have y'all seen those maps? It's like this is what I view the map of, and it's like New York, California, Texas, Florida.
Yeah, and like
That's
being
the United States.
being from Florida, I was like, okay, like the Midwest is just like cold and corn, and then like Chicago. That's how I saw it.
Yes.
Anyway, but so Honolulu Blue in Detroit, Michigan.
Perfect.
Their mascot is Rory the Lion. This diva. Look at that
Oh
bob.
my god.
Luscious hair.
Look at that bob.
The wig is snatched.
Like,
He's cute.
yeah. The only mascot known to have a
Wait,
fuck ass bob.
I feel like it's honestly a woman because she kind of looks like she's got some like
she's giving.
Hip action.
Yeah.
implants.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
In,
BBL?
in my photo.
She seems like a great hang.
Is she not giving
Let me
like
see.
knockers? I
Yeah.
don't know.
She is
Not the
giving.
She's kind of
knockers.
giving knockers.
She is giving.
Love that for her.
Maybe the-
Honestly,
Rory?
not relatable. And I
No.
would. That's my inspo. I'm taking it to the doctor's office.
I feel like she always has like an amazing leave-in leave-in
Conditioner.
conditioner.
Leave-in
Right.
conditioner.
Like she knows what she's doing. with that
Biotin,
wig.
hair supplements.
She's got a
Yeah.
comb in her pocket for
She
sure.
does. Anyway, one time she pretended to fight with a giant inflatable player during a game, which I also
Who
think is
won?
very funny. I'm gonna guess her
Okay.
because I would
Yeah.
not cross that woman. She's a comedy queen, is all I'm saying.
Rory's such a great name for a lady.
Rory,
I
I,
do
know.
love that.
Also
Rory Gilmore.
R-O-A-R.
Rory.
Yeah.
Why?
Rory Rogers.
Rory.
I literally wrote it in the corner of my paper. I was like, oh, it's a good name to think about later on in life.
Rory?
Yeah, for like a kid.
Rory Gilmore?
I didn't watch it, but
Awful.
Awful.
What is
Awful character.
based off your information last week? The vibes went with the New York Jets. We all know how the vibes are going with the New York Jets, and it turns out the Minnesota Vikings, who they didn't pick, did a really cool Parent Trap touchdown dance. I don't
Yeah.
know if you.
Yeah,
I
I saw
wanted
that.
to ask you if you could start adding in like what is like the most like the best like,
Handshakes.
Handshake.
like
Team,
celebration
yeah.
when they touch down.
Yeah.
Or sometimes when the defense gets a turnovers when they take the ball from the offense,
Uh-huh.
that the whole defense will celebrate sometimes in a very creative way.
Okay, mansplain.
Apple turnover.
I'll start-
I didn't know.
You, if
said
there's
it.
No, I did. I'm
there's
a man.
one thing
did
I
explain
love-
that for sure. I suck.
hey, guys, if there's one thing I love, it's choreo. So I will look into it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
the Dallas Cowboys have
choreograph.
choreo.
Dallas Cowboys do have choreo.
What's choreo?
Choreography.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should know that.
Also, the Detroit Lions have never been to the Super Bowl.
The Detroit Lions hold the record for being the only team to lose 16 consecutive games in a row.
You
in
just casually knew
2008.
that?
They've never won
It's
a
the only
Super
question I
Bowl.
care about.
They're the only franchise operational for the entire Super Bowl era to not win a Super Bowl.
Sorry, they've lost 16 consecutive games.
They hold
One
the
year they
record. 1
went
year in
winless.
2008, they went winless.
And they've never been to the Super Bowl.
When you
Yikes.
Google, have the Detroit Lions ever been good? Google AI says, yes, the Detroit Lions have been good, but they have also had many seasons of disappointment.
But
Which
not
are
great.
real as fuck.
Poor Taylor Lautner. I mean, he just
Yeah.
Just
He's
out
been
here.
Lions
he's a Lions fan.
How many
I mean,
backflips does someone have to do before they win a Super Bowl?
Oh.
He's just
He's
alone in the
obviously-
stands.
He's obviously not doing enough.
Taylor, you are not
Taylor,
doing
you
enough.
are not doing enough
football.
for these Lions, these girls. Commit.
Commit
Anyway,
to it.
they're owned by the Ford family because of Detroit. Bought in 1963 by William Clay Ford Sr., but was passed down to his widow when he died. His widow, Martha Firestone Ford, was the heir of the Firestone Ford.
I was about to say Firestone
Tires and
tires.
cars
and
together.
cars. That's a
What a legacy.
That's a marriage.
that is a marriage. Do we think it was by choice, or do you think they were like, we need a link?
An arranged
It was
marriage
arranged.
situation.
Yeah,
I mean,
tires.
It was in
and-
1963. Nick, you were alive then. What happened then?
yeah. What was arranged marriage in big business families
Don't
like
do
back
him
then?
dirty. Oh, he's giggling.
It was just so quick. Look at that.
I'm a vampire.
I honestly feel like I don't need to hear anything else about the Lions.
Yeah, I
'cause
feel like
it's
I'm
a
done.
no.
It's not the
Okay.
Lions.
It's a no.
Gross.
God. Okay, well now we're gonna talk about the Cowboys.
Give it to me.
The cheerleaders are hot,
Yeah,
The cheerleaders are
right?
They have a Netflix
A little-
special.
they do
Yeah.
have a Netflix special. Their cheerleaders are very iconic. Their colors are navy blue, metallic silver, royal blue, silver green, and white.
Silver green.
Silver green.
silver green. Oh,
Silver
Often
green.
referred to as America's team.
Yeah, imagine labeling yourself as American.
Kind of
They-
ego. Because
Kind of
yeah.
cringe, kind of lame as fuck.
because Packer fans and Steeler fans would love to argue about that claim.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, rich. That's how I feel about the Cowboys.
Privileged.
It's like rich.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Well, they are the most valuable sports franchise in the world.
Yeah, and it's like, shut the hell up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Their mascot is Rowdy. So yes, we do have Rory versus Rowdy in this game.
They're gonna fight.
They are gonna fight.
I hate him.
He's cute.
He looks like a fuckboy.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like if Yosemite Sam
kinda
got
hot.
put on a watch
No, a
list.
nepo fuckboy.
He's a nepo fuckboy. He looks like he got kicked out of Toontown for being too aggressive.
He does. He looks like there's something going on in those eyes
Yeah.
that you will never.
He looks
there's
like
no light.
he
in
looks
the
like he
eyes.
yodels in Walmart.
He looks like he Hannibal Lectered Mason Ramsey.
The crickets.
I don't like this guy.
Crazy.
Are
Holy
you
shit.
telling me I'm wrong?
I think he's cute. I think he's cute.
I think he is my sleep paralysis in the corner.
Yeah.
And I am scared of him.
He's kind
But
of hot.
do
Really?
you think
I
him
think so.
do you think him and Rory would like hook up at like a blind like a bar?
Mm,
I think Rory
no.
would be very nice, but she would decimate him.
Decimate.
She would decimate him emotionally,
Okay.
not physically.
Okay.
Because
Also-
she uses her words.
Real Housewives of Dallas. There was a Dallas cowgirl, or I don't know if she's called
There was?
cowgirl, but like a dancer on
And
the
it
original
was,
cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they cancel that?
They did.
After 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's shocking that Dallas couldn't make it work.
Yeah. It had a following.
Yeah,
It was kind of boring.
yeah. Like
It's like if I have to watch you go to one more event and decorate a hat, I'll lose it.
Yeah. So the Lions and the Cowboys both play every Thanksgiving. They're like the
They
two
do.
teams that like do the whole Thanksgiving games.
So they don't
Um,
like to hang out with their families.
Yeah,
Oh.
basically
Who started that trend?
the Lions.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
So Cowboys kind of riding the coattails as so-called America's team.
Well, it seems more to me like the Lions are like, we hate our families, like we have
Yeah.
to play, and
Yeah.
and the Cowboys are like, oh no, but like fine.
I mean, we're doing so well, but I guess.
Yeah.
If you need someone to play
Like, I
against.
kind of hate that the Lions are pulling the Cowboys away from their families
You
during
know?
that time.
So you don't think that the Cowboys are like, maybe this is a really good excuse that we have to go and be like the Lions and we can't be with our little families?
I don't think so, but if you do, Mary, I trust you.
I don't know.
All right, so who do we got?
I think the Cowboys.
I'm with the
honestly
Cowboys.
go Cowboys too.
I'm okay.
You can't. Mary can't.
I-
She can't.
What are you going, Nick?
I'm gonna go Lions.
You're gonna go Lions? I might switch over to knowledge just for this one time.
Okay.
I cannot.
Bye.
I cannot.
Don't let the door
ethically
hit you with a good
support-
Lord split ya.
I can't ethically support the Dallas Cowboys.
Game 2.
Game 2, we
You
have
are.
the Falcons and the Panthers. So the Falcons we talked about before, so we're just gonna zip right through it. Black, red, silver, and white. I think that's kind of boring. Mascot Freddie the Falcon. We remember
love
him.
We do. We love him.
Love
Who are they playing?
The Panthers.
the Panthers. Owned by Arthur Blank, who owns the Home Depot.
Listen, I think my only stake in this fire is that Cam Newton, who did win the national championship for Auburn, played for the Panthers.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what I would
Yeah.
necessarily go. Panthers and Atlanta Falcons, again, have never been good. But
Yeah.
please continue with our stats.
Their bio on Twitter for the Falcons is "We're swagging, we're surfing."
Hate that.
Me too.
That's
It
so
reminds me of
2010.
something. A boy who bullied me in elementary school and wore those stupid little Nike socks.
I know
You know what I'm talking
about.
about?
And the fightins.
They're
Yeah.
kind of cool
I know what
though.
you're talking about.
Like
The crew
always,
socks?
Yeah.
the crew socks, and then they always had like the shorts, and they were like kind of color coordinated, but never quite color coordinated, and they always had some shit to say,
They did.
and that's what their bio would be. So I don't like that. But their Instagram account on the Falcons also has a link to a Dutch fan page, and apparently they have a surprisingly dedicated fan base in the Netherlands. And it's very funny because it's just regular football hosts, but it's like all in German. And so it's just these like really stressed out German guys yelling over football. Highly recommend checking
I do
it
love
out.
the Netherlands.
Atlanta Falcons Deutschland.
I eat that up.
I
Okay.
I did look at that Instagram page yesterday while researching.
wow.
Anyway, so that's the Falcons. So if you love the Netherlands, then maybe you
And then
wanna
the
support them.
Jaguars. Who's the other one?
The
Panthers.
Carolina Panthers.
Oh.
Close.
Different
The
cat.
So they're-
Cheetahs.
Their colors
Got it.
are black, process blue.
Oh my
Process.
God.
Like trust the
Process.
process blue. And silver.
That's a terrible color
like
name.
Process.
I know.
Over
It sounds like
processed blue?
processed meat.
I know.
Yeah.
Artificial.
Artem-
GMO?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yikes.
listen. I didn't name it. I wouldn't have done that. Their mascot, Sir Purr.
I'm
Surfer.
Surfer.
Oh, I like
I'm
that.
obsessed.
This is like if Lisa Vanderpump created a mascot.
Oh,
Wait, she's
I'm a fan.
cute.
Surfer.
Wow.
Purr.
Is Sir Purr wearing a bunny costume in that?
Yes.
I love.
Is that Pop Your Pussy Pink?
That kind of is.
That
Pop Your
is
Pussy
Sir
Pink.
Purr and Pop Your Pussy Pink. Move over Sourdough Sam because Sir Purr has the best mascot name in the NFL.
No, I would die for Sir Purr.
This is the cutest little guy in the entire world. Like, he's never done anything wrong
He's never.
in his entire life. Anyway, so the Panthers, a very young team in the NFL, started in 1993, played their first game in 95, millennial representation,
Here for it.
which
Love.
is important. Also, a unifying figure, there is no North or South Carolina. There's only Carolina Panthers.
Aw.
Right?
Yeah.
They're there for the
Unity.
both of them.
Beautiful. Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Like the Carolinas
Diplomatic.
need that.
Yeah.
They play Sweet Caroline by Neil
Obviously.
Diamond after every
All right.
win.
Panthers for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is a Panthers fan.
Well, okay.
Yeah. And their mantra is keep pounding.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Sexy.
We're going Panthers.
We're going
All
Panthers.
right, I'm gonna
I'll
go
go-
Falcons.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
go
God.
Panthers. Yeah. I'm back
Welcome
on
back.
All
I
right.
got fired.
How quickly?
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah. That's
Hot.
bad football.
super hot.
Anything in household headlines that feels like really pressing that we should like really let the household.
Well, Hannah got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Island USA, Hannah.
Love Island USA. I did meet Miguel and Cordell in person last night.
Oh.
It was a Got Milk
else?
event. It was a Got Milk put on this like speed dating
hmm
situation at a Mel's Diner. I didn't go
Interesting.
there.
Really
to-
quickly, do you want to know something about me and Got Milk?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
The drag queen or
No.
Got
I
milk.
do not know
Got
her.
milk ads.
Got
Like,
milk.
I don't
I'm
know
kidding,
her, but
I was
I do
kidding.
love her.
It was a joke.
But the ads I used to rip them out and had like a whole like they were taped all over my
I did that
wall.
too.
And every time I had every single morning I had milk, I put it up on my top lip and I'd say got
Wow.
milk every single morning.
could never. That's cute.
loved the
you
ads.
love their campaign.
Loved the campaign. So
Oh
I feel like
my.
I actually should
Why
have been
didn't
more
you-
involved in this than you should have been.
Yeah. Wow.
Interesting, Got Milk.
Anyways, Got Milk. They're trying to get people to fall in love, and like I really quite liked. I mean, I do think we've been talking about on the show. More people need to get outside, meet people in person. It was like some sort of like speed dating where people were falling in love. We were there to support.
Wait, why were you, Cordell, and Miguel there?
Well,
All
I'm, a
in
man, I'm a man of
couples.
love. I don't know if you know this about me, but
No,
we,
They're
but I
all
mean
in
like, but
relationship.
it's speed
Oh.
dating. That's
well, they're from Love Island. They are recently in love.
No, I know
and
you guys are
I'm,
in
I'm
love.
someone who offers love advice to people, so I don't know.
so
We
you guys
just
are
there
mentors. Okay.
The question is,
Got
yeah,
it.
were there other people there that were there for speed dating?
Yeah,
and
there
y'all
were like, there were like
s-
real daters, real singles dating inside Mel's
Oh.
Diner.
Thank you,
okay.
And we were outside, you know.
You guys
taking
were the
pics.
icons looking up to you guys.
Yeah.
Good examples,
We were
good.
there. We were meat. Yeah, we were just there for eye candy.
I have a question about this. What if somebody at the speed dating Got Milk ad was lactose intolerant? Is that
Mm.
allowed?
Were you drinking milk?
Yeah. How does the
I
milk?
had 3 milkshakes.
Oh, milkshake.
Ooh.
Well, they kept handing them to me for pics, and you know me.
How's your tummy?
Mm, yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
Literally. All
Anyways,
right.
How did we get into this conversation?
You were telling
Oh,
us.
Hannah got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Anyways, Miguel and Cordell, sweet, nice, loving.
Very nice, very lovely, very sweet. Yeah,
Aw.
Cordell's just as charming and sweet as you would think.
Did he make you laugh?
He didn't make me cry.
I didn't expect that. Perfect. Thank
and
God.
yeah, they're very nice, very very nice people.
Sweet. So Hannah, did you
Hannah.
ask him about Hannah?
I did
not.
not.
Oh, you
no,
should've.
no.
Should've.
Well, I mean, what like
Missed opportunity.
kind of awkward sitch, you know? It's just like, hey, how about this person you were on a show with? What do you think about that? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's law.
Hannah Smith arrested for threatening to kill a cop, which, I mean, it sounds like she technically did, but I feel like we could all assume that she was drunk being escorted
Yeah.
out and be like, I'll fucking kill you!
I mean,
Let
we
me-
just read Taylor Swift's lip saying I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Let me read the details just so the audience knows. So
Okay.
basically, Hannah was at a concert venue in Atlanta September 30th.
What was the concert?
Gracie Abrams.
When she was-
Oh, wow, what a classy.
When she was
look.
escorted out for being disorderly, a police officer was on scene and tried to take Hannah to an Uber when the reality star allegedly tried kicking and punching the cop with a closed fist. Hannah was placed under arrest and was in the police car on the way to jail when she allegedly repeatedly threatened to kill the officer and the officer's sister.
Oh.
Hannah was charged with
sister.
2
Wait, why
felonies.
was the officer's sister there?
Maybe she really loved Gracie Abrams.
She was going hard. I don't know.
Was this an off-duty cop?
Maybe she went to high school with him and knows that he had
I'm
a
assuming
sister.
he's on duty if he's the one escorting her out. But basically, Hannah was charged with 2 felonies, terroristic threats, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officer. Hannah was released on bail the next day and returned posting to social media with no mention of her arrest.
Oh,
She just got back to work.
This is
Wow.
fresh too, so
Hmm.
It's not a hometown situation. She's from North Carolina, so
yeah.
You
this
know,
is in Atlanta.
Be mindful of your intake of substances or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, I'm assuming she was drinking or
For sure,
taking
yeah.
something.
To your point, though, like it does sound like a situation where someone's drunk and they just go too far. But she happened to go too far with the wrong person.
And I'm like, terroristic threats.
Yeah,
like that sounds
that's-
like a scary thing to have on your record.
That's a
record.
weird. That's a weird.
You know what I mean? Like it sounds very
Terroristic-
intense.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
That
doesn't seem like a.
terroristic threats. That seems like you get drunk and yell at a cop.
I'm a fucking kill you,
I'm
you
gonna
stupid
fucking kill
bitch.
you.
Yeah, why can't the
Yeah.
charges be like
Drunk and
sloppy,
disorderly?
Drunk and
sloppy girl?
disorderly conduct.
The
Yeah.
punching and kicking, though.
Wet and
Oh, I don't
reckless.
know.
Punching and kicking does take it to the next level.
Wait,
Yeah.
disorderly conduct. That still
Yeah.
seems to fit.
Yeah.
She was, but that's when she was taken out. Like she was removed because of disorderly conduct.
Kicking
then
and
she
punching,
did the,
you know, I don't know. What's like, is this?
That's,
regardless,
that's hitting a cop.
I don't
battery.
know.
But terrorist? They're calling her a terroristic threat?
Then,
If she
like-
said,
that's
if she
ridiculous.
threatened to kill him, that's
Multiple
giving
times.
terrorist.
No,
I
it's not.
mean, that would say basically the entire cast of Vanderpump Rules could
Be a
be
terrorist.
terrorists.
Says a terrorist threat involves threatening to commit an act of violence that would endanger others with a reckless disregard for the harm it would cause.
Well-
if you joke about having a bomb or a gun on an airplane, for example, you could be charged with making a terrorist threat.
Well, part of a terrorist is like invoking fear in
Yeah.
people.
I'm just saying if she's drunk in the back seat, who knows what she's saying, that I'm like, clearly, I mean, and you pissed off the wrong cop,
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
clear. She
Well,
pissed
you
off the
just-
wrong cop. But
you just know that this body cam footage is gonna be swirling.
Are they gonna
I
release
really
it?
hope that Gracie
Oh,
Abrams is like performing in the background. And I hope that J.J. Abrams has to make a statement.
wait, Gracie Abrams is the,
You didn't know.
related
You
to
didn't
J.J.
know?
Abrams?
You didn't know that.
Yes.
Did not know
She's
that.
the
Gracie
daughter, right?
Abrams is
Oh my god.
J.J. Abrams' daughter.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nepo.
Yeah.
But we love her.
Anyway.
But talented.
Yeah, we love her.
Yeah, if you have talent, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I want to be you when I come back in the next life.
Also, Love is Blind. So we know Leo and Brittany broke up. So they've spoken out to People Magazine about why they broke up. Because originally, when watching the show, we didn't know.
Let me guess, they didn't like each other.
Well, so if you're asking Leo, he said,
No, you're right.
I mean, Leo's perspective, he said, as things settle down, you're kind of like, okay, we're here. You're wearing my ring on your finger. Let's talk about this. We had a lot of conversations throughout the trip and mutually came to the conclusion that we just didn't see it turning into marriage. If you ask Brittany said, the physical connection just simply wasn't there, honestly. We had a talk in the beginning and how this could work out, and the time went on during the trip, and the chemistry just wasn't there, and we mutually felt that.
Gotcha. She hated his face.
We could
So-
definitely see that with the smothering.
This
Right.
is the most
Post
awkward
reveal.
moment of
When
my
she said
life.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, "What do you love about me?" And she said, "It's too much pressure." I get it. No, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything I loved about him
Mhm.
either. But I do. I'm upset. I am truly upset with producers for not taking them to Mexico.
Yeah.
Really?
It's more about being why they show us their story if we didn't get to see how their story ended. But I feel like it had to do with
It would have been a
being
messy
intertwined.
ending, but
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
I don't think they're messy.
We have enough mess.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
this
true.
season.
This batch of episodes was wild. So many like moments to get into. All right, well, let's up next. We'll get into Love Is Blind with our good friend Jutes. Article is an online furniture company that sells modern furniture and decor directly to customers, being online only. Article cuts out the middleman and passes on the savings on to you. Do you remember when we were in Nashville and we were recording when we had Emily Baker on?
Mm-hmm.
That couch, that green couch, that
Yep.
was an Article couch.
Wow.
I used to have the same one in blue. I don't have that blue couch anymore, but we have a ton of Article pieces in our backyard that are absolutely must-haves. Whatever furniture you're looking to upgrade in your house, whether maybe it's your backyard, maybe it's your dining room, maybe it's your bedroom, maybe it's your kids' room, maybe it's your office. Article has it all. Their mid-century, modern, and coastal, industrial, Scandi, and boho designs make furniture shopping simple. It's high quality. It's great designs. There's something for everyone. And like Article said, their prices are unmatched and unbelievable given the quality of the products that they have. But since they cut out the middleman, they can do that for you. Don't worry about unnecessary showrooms because when you go to those showrooms anyways, none of their pieces are available. With Article, their pieces are actually in stock the vast majority of the time. And if you're looking to upgrade your furniture pieces today, you could be getting some high quality furniture sooner than later. And if you just happen to not be obsessed or in love with your new piece of Article furniture, no problem. They make the exchange or return process incredibly easy and convenient. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/VIALL, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That is article.com/VIALL for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Not to mention, Article's knowledgeable customer care team is there when you need them to make sure that your experience is smooth and stress-free.
This podcast is sponsored by Daily Look, #1 highest rated premium personal styling service for women. With Daily Look, you can get your own dedicated personal stylist to curate a box of clothes based on your body shape, preferences, and lifestyle. This is not an algorithm. These are real personal stylists. You get the same stylist every time. That means you can try on up to 12 premium pieces per box in the comfort of your home, saving you time and effort. So whether you need something effortlessly chic for a day at the office or just a cozy outfit for your everyday routine, Daily Look has got you covered. How it works is simple. You fill out their style quiz, including your price and lifestyle preferences. You get up to 12 hand-selected items delivered to your home, and then you buy what you love and send back the rest. And Daily Look offers free shipping both ways. It's that easy. Daily Look's mission is simple: to elevate your style. That's why they work with both established brands and up-and-coming designers. Your box may feature names like Kate Spade, AG, Good American, Girlfriend Collective, Spiritual Gangster, and more. And Daily Look has sizes for almost everybody, from extra small to 3X and 0 to 24.
So I got my box. I absolutely love it. It is so easy. You kind of fill out what your vibe is, what you like. A stylist sends you the pieces in an email, and you have a couple of days, I believe, to choose whatever you do or don't like. But I went full fall with it, and the pieces that I got, you guys, I'm so excited to wear. I did a sweater dress, big chunky sweaters for the upcoming cold seasons, jeans. I'm telling you, everything that they have is so cute, and I will not be sending any of it back.
It's time to get your own personal stylist with Daily Look. Head to dailylook.com to take your style quiz and use code VIALL for 50% off. That's 50% off your order. Once again, that's dailylook.com for 50% off. And make sure you use our code VIALL so they know we sent you. Jutes, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming, man. We're excited to have you. We're excited to get into all your Love is Blind takes. How did you get into it?
Me and my fiance definitely just love some reality TV. It's like my escape from my life, and you know what I mean? I can just kind of like numb out. I don't know. Maybe it's my attention span is kind of ruined. So like movies don't hit like they used
Really?
to.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
kind of feel the same way. I'm with movies, I'm bad.
But I can sit there and watch a show for 8 hours.
I
think
same.
it's because it like recatches me every 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's like recap.
Yeah. And you're like, oh shit.
Thank
And then you
God.
keep
It's like a
going.
new moment. Did Demi get you into reality TV? Is she or you were in it before?
I was in it. I didn't really grow up super on it, but it might have been COVID.
Yep.
COVID got me into Survivor. I never watched Survivor growing up.
I haven't got into Survivor. Natalie's a big Survivor girl.
Nah,
trying to get in.
Survivor's so good.
Thank you. It's so good.
I binged all of it during lockdown. I was by myself in an apartment during lockdown, so I just I watched Big Brother for the first time.
Oh shit.
I didn't finish all that. But yeah, I just started getting into all these shows, and now I'm like,
What do you feel like is your favorite?
hold up, I got my Love Island water.
Oh shit! You guys got a Love Ivan thermos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm about this life.
He is about this
We
life.
love that. I actually met your fiance Demi because she was a big Bachelor fan, and then
Nice.
she became friends with my friend Demi, and then like we met. Very nice. Obviously,
Nice.
you know
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Your fiance
She's pretty
is
sick.
very
Just you know
nice.
she's just you know she's nice.
She's nice.
Anyway,
What
go.
is your favorite reality TV show, since you have watched so many?
Probably Love Island.
Yeah.
But let me just say that we're not done watching the latest season.
You're not.
Because we watched the UK stuff. Like
Yeah.
we were busy and we couldn't get to
Oh,
it. So we finished watching the UK and then instantly got into the latest season of, and I'm not sure where we're at. I'd have to rack my brain. Because I pivoted to Love is Blind. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah, you jump
you'll be watching
around.
one and you're like, this is gonna get spoiled if I don't watch it now.
It's true.
That's true.
So then you have to dive into that. Luckily, I haven't somehow seen spoilers for the US Love Island.
That is crazy. It was everywhere for a long
Everywhere.
time.
Everyone was
so that
talking
is
about it, and I
shocking.
was just kind of like, I'm not seeing it. My algorithm's not showing me, so don't say anything.
And you got some new music coming out.
Always.
Always.
Yeah, like
constantly
once a month.
grinding.
That's
I'm like dropping an album as singles. So like a single every month.
Is that like the way to do it now these days?
That's the way I think that people should do it, unless they're very established. For someone like me, it has been super helpful. Every single song like gets a month of like hardcore promo. I just don't think anyone cares about me enough for a full album all at once. Like just being honest. And I don't think people care about a lot of people nowadays, unless you're like kind of A-list. So
I think it is hard when full albums come out to really like sit down, listen to every song on the album.
And
I feel
care
like
about it. Like,
yeah.
I've just noticed that dropping an album and having one song kind of get added to the list, like all the views are up. Everybody has time to like listen to one song and like kind of fall in love with it. And then you get to the show and hopefully everyone knows the words to every song. Like, I think it's been working for me. So I definitely think that like independent, smaller artists should just do singles nowadays.
Yeah, and is obviously Demi, major superstar.
Yeah.
How is that like? Do you guys collab at all? I mean, like in kind of like work together. Does she offer input, or do you like to just kind of do your own thing and keep things separate? Like, how do you balance work and in real life?
We met in the studio because I'm also a songwriter.
Okay.
So we met writing her Holy Fuck album. We did a few songs on there
Amazing
together.
album.
Yeah, and I didn't really know why I was being asked to write with Demi because I like do rock music primarily, and so I was like, I'm not really that good of a singer. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to write for Demi, but I got in the studio and they were like, we're doing a rock album, and it was insane. And that album actually inspired me to go like more into what I'm doing now. So we have collabed in the sense of we've written a bunch of songs together, but we're also just like huge fans of each other. Like, she loves my music, and she's like, I would have been such a huge fan like as a kid because she was all emo as a kid, and so she was just like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of your stuff. I'm obviously a huge fan of her. She's world-class talent.
Yeah, your music. I was listening to it this morning. It does bring. I'm a little older, but it brings me back to like when some of those like what was some of those bands I used to fucking listen to. I wish I could name some of them. No, I'm faking.
But either way, nostalgia, because that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, because it has I'm trying to think of fucking. I would listen to that shit all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Kings of Leon?
No, not
No.
Kings of Leon.
I
do like Kings of
I
Leon.
liked Kings of Leon.
I like
but
Kings of
not-
Leon too,
but not fuck. It was 30 Seconds to Mars, stuff like
AFI.
that. you
So
know?
I think that 30 Seconds to Mars, I never got super into them, not for the sake of not liking it. I just like listen to the same 5 bands over and over and over again, and I'm cool with that. So like, I don't really explore too much, but my friend who loves them was saying the same thing, and then we kind of found out that like the stuff I'm referencing is the stuff that I think Jared was referencing.
Gotcha.
So that's
All right.
probably
That
why
makes
it's kind of
sense.
similar.
What's the name of the band that sings a song called Starlight? One of my favorite songs.
Muse?
Muse. Thank you. That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to think of.
Yeah, they're fire.
Yeah. Kind of. That's
Yes.
that's
What are those 5 band? Like, what is your who are your inspirations?
For this new music, it's a lot of Deftones. I'm liking heavy music that also feels sexy. I love that vibe because I like the occasional scream, like a tasteful scream, but I'm not like a front to back screamo the whole record. I get pretty gassed from too much of that. I love melody. So I love the Deftones right now. They're huge inspiration for the project I'm rolling out. The Neighborhood, which is kind of not anything like Deftones, but very dark vibes still.
Have they? Did they end their band?
They went on a break, whatever
Okay.
that means.
Okay.
I've
They're on
seen some.
pause.
What's that?
They're on
What?
pause.
They're on
On
pause.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an inside joke.
It's
Bravo
a
term.
Bravo reality TV joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy Cohen puts Housewives on pause to see if he wants to bring them back for another season.
Oh, nice.
They're not fired. They're
Just
just put
on
on
pause.
pause.
On pause. I guess, yeah, then the band was on pause. And they might be coming back. I've heard rumors. Like, I have no idea. But,
Cool.
and then I would say, like, Smashing Pumpkins, Radiohead, Nirvana. I grew up listening to a lot of Third Eye Blind. Red Hot Chili Peppers was my favorite band
Third
as a
Eye
little
Blind.
kid.
Oh,
My
yeah.
first CD ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
My first CD ever was the Chili Peppers.
Ooh.
And then Outkast. randomly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to listen to that water skiing as a kid.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
I think
Get real
that's
amped
what they had
up.
in mind
Yeah.
when they were making all their albums, was people water skiing.
Yeah.
With like a tape.
No,
Play-
we would play it on the boat, and
Oh.
we were in high school and thought we were cool. We were not. Who asked out who for the first time?
Well, we started as friends, so it kind of was like one of those things that morphed. It wasn't like can we go on a date? It was like we weren't
Like,
thinking
are we
of
in
it.
love? Like,
Yeah, we weren't thinking of it like that. It was like straight collaboration, and like obviously when I go in the room and I'm writing with somebody, like this city can be creepy as it is. Like, I'm not trying to be one of the creeps. Like, it's very professional, and like people have to get really vulnerable and kind of open up to you about a lot of personal stuff when you're writing with them. So like there's just like a boundary there that I like to always be cool and not weird. So I'm not even thinking of it like that. And then, you know, we went to some shows and like with other friends, like just like as homies, wrote some more songs. And then as time went on, I think I might have said something. I might have like fished for something in a text or something where I was like, however she responds to this will let me know how she feels. And I was like, oh, okay, you might be feeling me. And then it was just kind of one of those, but it was just like over time. I don't know. It wasn't like this one big moment thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
How did-
cool. I mean, I like that we were friends first because we just got to know each other as homies and there
You
wasn't
built the
like,
friendship. Yeah.
yeah, we weren't like putting on any kind of like trying to be too cool. Like it was just very organic.
How did you propose?
I wrote a song. She
pretty cool.
had some shows in Austria and was it Abu Dhabi or something? She was gone for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And I'm not a guitar player, but I can kind of play some chords. So it took me like a week just to like write the chords for this song. And then I wrote a song and then I practiced it. And again, I'm not a guitar player, so like rehearsing this song that ends in Will You Marry Me was really difficult, and I would mess up like 3 out of 4 times. So I was like, when it comes time to do this, like I just got to get lucky and just nail it. I definitely like almost broke down crying a few times, but basically, yeah, I had her team like set up some stuff and distract her, and then yeah,
That's great,
I
man.
sang her a song.
Yeah. And were you pretty confident that you were going to get the yes, or did you go in kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, holy
I was
shit?
confident. I knew that she wasn't expecting it when I did it, and that's why I did it then. So I wanted to catch her off guard, but I mean, obviously, we had mentioned, you know, wanting to be married and stuff like that. So
Hell yeah, man. All right. Well, that's thanks for sharing all that. That was really great. We always love a meet cute story.
We
Yeah.
do love
I wish I
meet
could write
over
music.
here.
What's so funny?
You just looks like a little teenage girl. Like, this is so cute.
It is cute.
It
Yeah, we
is.
talk about love on this show. What do you want me to? What do you
I
want
love
me to
that
say?
you love love. That's
what,
all.
What do we want to get into first? What was the most triggering scene on these 3 episodes for you, if any of them, or all of them?
the Steven thing was like left field to me. I mean, maybe some people saw it coming with him. I don't know, but I just thought he was a teddy bear. I was like, this guy is gonna get eaten alive by Monica. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Monica's gonna run the show. Maybe that's what she likes. Like, maybe it's perfect.
He
But I
does
was like,
love to get
Put in his place.
put in his place.
There
He
you go.
said, "Yeah."
But also,
mean-
I think, and we said this earlier, is like it came out of nowhere. It was like
Right.
we're just like jumping to couple.
there
and
were
then it's like-
hints that he was like, I don't know about sexual deviant, but like he was into some shit,
Yeah.
and he definitely talked about getting boners all the time. So like, it wasn't like,
yeah.
whoa, this guy's like,
He was
trying
like,
to fuck
"Guys,
a
do you
lot."
realize how many blowjobs we're gonna get now that we're famous?"
Right, like
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
no,
that.
that
I
was
was like, whoa, what are we talking about, bro?
No, and then you felt
I mean,
bad
I
for him
guess.
in the beginning because it was kind of like Monica being like, I've told you, stop talking so much kind of thing. And you're like, oh, but he's just trying to be himself. And then once he started talking more, I was like, no, yeah, shut your mouth.
Yeah, it's always tough because I don't know like what there's 24 hours in a day, and like
Right.
obviously we're getting these snippets. So like at first, yeah, I agree. I'm like, damn, Monica's
Aw.
like kind of eating this guy alive. Like he's just like walking on eggshells. It kind of felt like he was scared to like
say anything.
disappoint her.
I think come to find
They
out.
always
like-
do that though. I'm like I'll be like, they're my favorite, and then it'll be like,
Whoa.
and I'm like, whoa, whoa.
That is me. I always say, I can't watch these shows, especially when they come out in little like snippets, like 3
Right.
and 4 episodes, because I'm like rooting so hard for somebody. And then the next one, I'm like, wait, what?
You're like clear favorite, and then out of nowhere, like you find out some
I'm like questioning my
second
judgment.
life. You're
Yeah.
like, wait, you have a family back home?
No,
Like, what are
literally,
you
like
talking about?
we interviewed Tyler like last week, and we still unclear, but he seems like a really great guy. They're praying every day, and now all of a sudden, like, do you have a second family? Are they
So-
your kids? I don't know.
Yeah, that is really unclear. But I was like, if it's just like a sperm donor situation,
But that's what I'm. It's just like, but if
but not,
it
to not
is-
say it.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
if
why are you
I
hiding it?
did that,
right.
if I did that, I wouldn't even think it was something like sketchy to bring up, because
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, like people need that.
Yeah, I was helping out my friends. I don't.
Right.
They have parents. They don't need
It's
me.
like
I'm not
I
involved.
donate blood all the time, and like people have my blood in them, and I don't know.
Yeah, you
It's a little
basically
bit
have
more
kids.
intense than that. But I mean, I have like a whole country of people that are just sharing my blood,
Saving lives,
Your
creating
DNA
lives.
is everywhere.
But you're right, though. In the
Both
pods,
important.
I mean, my understanding of the pods is they have hours and hours of just sharing. You can't look at each other. You can't touch each other. So it's
Right.
just like unlimited sharing. And you're right. Like, it's not something you would hide. It's just not something you would feel defensive about. You'd be like, oh, yeah, this one time.
Like I'd be surprised if I did that and told somebody and they were weird about it. I'd be like,
yeah.
but it's not like I actually have a family. Like they're not my kids.
Yeah.
This isn't like a
Yeah.
sit down, like, I
Genetically.
need to tell you something. Don't get mad.
Right.
This is going to be a lot. You're like,
It's like
"Holy
I don't
fuck."
know them. Like, you know what I mean?
But no, there's pictures of them like together on Christmas. Like the kids are on his shoulders.
Oh,
like
hold
this is a
up.
full like he's spending time with these children.
Yeah, the
Oh,
internet
whoa.
is
The internet's
Doing the
dating.
internet thing.
Yeah.
is coming out, and some exes have been like, yeah, maybe he's, he may pray,
he
but
got some
also,
demons.
you know.
But I think a lot of what the internet's problem was they thought like he just never told Ashley. So I am glad that there is this scene where, I mean, it might be a little too late, but that he is telling her that
Right.
there are these kids.
There seems more to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There does seem more.
Because also like her reaction was like really intense for like what I was just like, it's weird he didn't say anything. And I guess she's right. Like there's so many opportunities for that to come up, especially
because-
them being so big on having kids and kids being like a topic for them.
Yeah,
a
that
lot.
the whole conversation with her dad about wanting to have kids and starting a family. And it's like, then he has this thing that
To
he
not
needs to
mention-
share.
It was the beginning of the episode. They're talking about like wanting to have how many kids they want to have together and all that stuff. Like perfect segue to just be
Right.
like, also, by the way,
I do have kids already. And I'm very
they're
much
not
involved in their
mine,
lives.
but like I hang out with them sometimes.
That's wild. I don't have you guys even heard of that being a thing?
No.
For the sperm donor to show up and be like,
No.
I'm here. Like, whoa,
Like,
is
how
that
do you
like
explain
not allowed?
that?
Like,
Yeah.
doesn't that mess up
why
the
do I
vibe
look
for
like this
everybody
guy?
else?
Breach
Yeah.
of contract, I
Right.
feel like.
The other dad's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
How do I compete?
What did you think of the Marissa Ramses conversation about condom sex and her being like, I don't want to get back on birth control? And he's
That
like,
was-
well, I want to enjoy sex.
That was a
and
choice.
I don't want to have condom sex.
Also, do you ever
I mean-
refer to it as condom sex? Is that normal? I thought that was so strange where he was just like condom sex, condom sex.
He's
and I was like,
35. That was a weird thing.
protected sex?
It's I gotta say, it's a weird, it is a giant ick for any guy to just assume that his girlfriend's going to take the pill.
It's a double standard too.
Yeah.
Like, is there not things you can do as a dude? I'm
Mhm.
sure.
I feel
but
like
it was this whole thing where it's like they have this conversation about, are they ready to have kids? Are they not ready to have kids? He's like, I'm 3 to 5 years out. Ramses, if you're listening, is someone who like took a while to have his first kid. You're never going to be ready. I've always wanted to be a dad, but then there's never I don't know what it's like to be a woman, but as a guy and someone who's always wanted to be a dad, I never woke up and was like, today's the day I'm ready to like
Yeah.
have this crazy thing happen. You're
I
always
get it
like,
now.
and then like when Natalie told me, she was pregnant, my first reaction was, holy fucking shit, you're
As it
never,
usually is, I'm sure.
you're never like, let's do this,
Right.
like, I don't know, maybe some guys are. I feel like
For sure, there are some people that actively are like, we are trying, and if they're not successful, like it's stressful and whatnot. But like,
Yeah,
it's
usually you're
normal to
married
be
and,
like,
like,
all right,
yeah.
like sink or swim, like let's figure
Yeah,
it out. as we
yeah,
go."
yeah.
And everyone I know that has kids that maybe didn't plan on having them when they had them is they say you just figure it out.
Yeah, you just kind
you
of
just,
figure
you
it out.
just learn it and motherly instincts kick in, and that's like some higher power. Something
Truly
happens.
higher power.
So
Something happens.
Ramses has this like, very hard stance about not wanting to have kids. And then they talk about obviously, safe sex, or how do they prevent, not having kids for two people having kids. And then, yeah, he bizarrely gets in this expectation of like, she needs, like, he is almost shocked, surprised, offended even that she isn't willing to take a pill that will potentially drastically change the chemical structure of her entire body or change her moods and
Totally does.
chemistry.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
it's like fucking crazy. And then he does the craziest shit where like Marissa finally is like, listen, just like I'm not doing this, which seems like a really reasonable boundary for her to want to set.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not going to do this. So we're going to have to figure it out. And this motherfucker plays a game of chicken where he just tries to set his own boundaries. Like, well, I need to enjoy sex.
I'm not going to not like having sex.
That is such a crazy thing. And that's what pisses me the most off about Ramses, because like, he's good looking, seems like a really sensitive guy. We've liked him the whole time, in touch with his feelings, yada, yada, yada. And be in touch with your feelings. But what really rubbed me the wrong way is the conversation before. And I know this is like a slightly political conversation. We don't get into politics, but like, I thought it was really interesting when you have Marissa talking about her service of this country in the military. And like, listen, there's a lot of justifiable opinions about our country's role in world politics. And I think if you serve in the military, like Marissa did, she has the right to have her opinions. Like she was even open about questioning, what our country does. And like, as Americans, we can sit there and not be okay with the way the role our country plays because of the way our leaders sometimes decide, blah, 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 blah. But for Ramses to sit there and just like blanket statement, make her feel judged for her service of this country. And then the type of entitlement it takes to assume that all the people who join the military are like, have no issues with what maybe the military does. But like most people who join the military because they have no other options. It's literally
they need, like benefits.
It's a way out.
I'm from Canada. I'm Canadian. So like joining the military, you get benefits. Like it's a lot of
schooling.
Yeah. Like they take care of you. And some people are like, this is the only way I kind of like make things work.
Or it's their way out of a terrible situation, whatever it is. Like, most people don't have the benefit of questioning whether they're okay with every single thing that military does or doesn't do. Like,
that's like working. I mean, I don't know if it's the same, but some people work certain jobs where like maybe that company is doing some fucked up shit. I mean, it's like, you're like, I don't know. I'm trying to like keep the roof over my head.
Bills. Yeah.
And here's Marissa literally sacrificing her life potentially to do this, right? And it's gained a sense of honor from doing this. And he's just sitting there fucking judging. And it's just like, while simultaneously enjoying all the benefits of what this place brings us as a country. And again, you can question it, but like to judge someone like Marissa, who isn't there making all the policies and the decisions, but like serving her country and doing something bigger than herself, him judging, and then to double that down with the birth control stuff, it's just like, I just can't stand guys like that who like,
because she hasn't given any kind of like a firm, it's the deal's off if you do this. And she hasn't done
but he's just like, if you were to sign back up, because what if she needed to? What if she was doing an honorable position in the military that, I don't know.
Can't you be like called out of
the reserve
deployment or something, like where it's like, or like if they needed her for something, they can like call her back?
Well, she was talking about re-enlisting into the reserves, which is different than being a full-time in the military. Now she sounds like she's just done. She's out. She's ended her service.
Law school. Right?
She's going to law school and things like that.
Totally different path. Totally different.
Yeah, and then here's a guy who's like kind of in between jobs. It's just like, what does he really do other than like express his feelings and judge other people for their decisions? It's just like, I don't know. Like, it's really convenient for the position he's in to sit there to have a lot of opinions, but not really actually doing anything.
And for him to say, if she re-enlists, it's an immediate divorce. Like,
it's crazy.
That's crazy. This is supposed to be the person that like you support no matter what, your wife, the person you love, like unconditionally, the person that like you don't see flaw. It's like, but no, the second that she gets a job, like, we're done. It's done. I'm out.
And like,
crazy.
And I love how Marissa is just like, listen, we can have unprotected sex and accept the consequences of our decisions, which like, a lot of people do.
That's real.
You pull out, and is it foolproof? Absolutely not. But like, to sit there and expect your partner to literally go to the doctor, get a prescription, and take medicine that alters your body and act like you're inconvenienced by the fact that you might have to wear a condom because you don't want to even risk the possibility of having children with someone you claim to love. And even though you want to have kids in 3 to 5 years, you are still expecting your partner to drug herself because you don't want to wear a condom?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
And for him to be like, I don't enjoy condom sex, and her to be like, well, actually, like some of the best sex I've ever had is like with a condom. Like, it's like the only way that I've been able to Like, and
She's like, it's not the
He
condoms
looked
fault.
pretty shook when she said that, huh? You could see him like visualizing it or something, and I was like,
he was
"Whoa."
like,
Yeah.
fuck my life.
Yeah.
He was like,
wow, okay.
I need to enjoy sex to be in a relationship with you. That was a fucking crazy thing to say. You don't get to pretend to be this progressive and enlightened and touch with your
I
feelings
was kind
guy.
of surprised that because he seems like he'd be very much like your body, your choice,
Yeah.
or whatever you
Yeah.
want to do.
and not unless if his dick's not being tickled, then you know.
he's out of there.
I don't know. I absolutely loved Marissa's mom though in the scene. I know a lot of people might, I feel like a lot of fans get mad at parents when they're quote unquote mean or whatever. But to me, like that's a mom. That's a mom being a mom and playing the role of mom, protecting her kid because Marissa is like in it. She's in her feelings. She's
Right.
not thinking with her brain. She's thinking with her heart.
Right.
And you know what? And her mom, she was honest. She was direct, but she wasn't like, if you do this, I'm not going to support you
She was
guys.
still like, do your
She was,
thing,
"Do your
but
thing."
she's like, people have fucked us over in the past,
Yeah.
and I got my guard up.
And I'm gonna love my daughter either way. Like that's why like Marissa has a great mom because you can tell her mom makes it very clear you never have to question my love for you. You know,
Right.
like, and that is that feeling of unconditional love that like you can fuck up but not have to worry about like is mom or still gonna be around. And
Yeah.
for her to say she's such an amazing mom. And I know like Marissa made the joke about her mom needing therapy, and maybe she does, but like that's a great mom moment for Marissa's mom, just to like step up and like kind of play the role that like
She went so hard on him. I was like, damn, I would be like fucking burning up in my seat in that situation. Like cameras on me and shit too. I'd be like, oh, I'm getting roasted.
And
right
she's
now.
like, what the fuck is this outfit? Like, what are you?
Yeah, cooked him right away. Like just
right
immediately
away.
knocked him down to here, and you're like, okay,
He
this
was
is
like,
gonna
you
be
don't
good.
like it? She's like, and the Jerry curl? He's like, okay.
He's like, you're not feeling it? She's like, nah.
No, absolutely not.
No.
that
I
was
was like,
honestly
okay.
like the only time I really respected Ramses in these 3 episodes is because he stood up to
Yeah.
her Marissa's mom, who had the right to say what she said, and he didn't push back. He respected what she
And
had
you could
to
tell
say.
that like when he was like, so that's you giving me your blessing or whatever.
Yeah, he
and then
handled
she
it well.
kind of like smiled, and you're like, you're definitely gonna like she's gonna warm up over time. It's just like right off the bat, her guard is up.
Yeah.
What is your take on Hannah and Nick?
I feel bad for Nick a lot of the time. I'm not gonna lie, like but wait, they're gonna drop a bomb on us, and then we're gonna be like Nick, poor
Fuck
Nick, and then they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
he's the worst. This is what he did. But
true.
as of right now, for what we know, I think that Nick seems like pretty patient. I feel like I would have like been like, whoa, like you
Yeah.
don't fuck with me at all.
Do
like,
you hate me?
like really just
Yeah.
don't like she doesn't like him at all, it seems like.
I feel like the conversation with Hannah's brother was incredibly telling when
She stepped out of the
She
room.
left.
when she left and he was like, listen, I've struggled with this my whole life. He was like, some of this stuff like really sticks with me, and like some of
Right.
it does.
And it's just not equal. Like if you dish it back, she gets like upset
She-
apparently.
Oh, where
so.
she's like, yeah, you're not funny at all, but
But
Yeah,
I'm
mine
hilarious.
was funny, but then you did it and it wasn't a joke. It was
Yeah.
mean. And he
It
was
was-
like, what?
Whoa.
I have empathy for Hannah because I think it just comes from a place of like I just think when you're mean like that and you're mean when you tease, it comes from insecurity.
Totally.
You're just projecting an insecurity, about yourself. And I think she wants to see herself as one way, but deep down sees herself as another.
And in the pods,
yeah.
she obviously like had like a meltdown and stuff like that because of her own insecurity.
It's like,
so,
yeah, did Nick maybe slightly suggest he's taller, but he's not 5'9". He's
Yeah.
he's taller than her.
He's
He's
taller than her.
Yeah.
a
taller than her.
good few inches. Like he's a good
He was
height.
taller than her with heels on, right? When they met.
Yeah, with
when they
heels
first
on.
met?
Like, and if
Yeah.
you're taller than someone with heels on, you're tall enough,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Period.
Like what?
And the only thing he said in the pods was that he was a kicker punter, which I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, kicker punters are not like usually big,
Jacked.
jacked,
You didn't say
tall
linebacker.
fucking-
Yeah.
No.
That was on Hannah for assuming football player.
Yeah, she didn't know like the positions and she was just like linebackers.
Ooh, football.
220 and a man bun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like she's always like comparing her body to his body, which again is her insecurity, not his.
Right.
I will say
That's
though,
unfair.
Nick seems like a really nice guy, but how do I say this? I feel like if you're Nick at 29, he's 29 years old, maybe 28 when he was filming this. Like
Yeah, he's 28 on the show, I want to say.
I think he's nice. I'm not here to judge Nick in his life choices.
Right.
And he's specialized. He followed a dream, and it sounds like he's been in a position and has the privilege of his families to say, "Hey, go follow your dreams. We'll take
Doesn't
care
work
of
out,
you."
we got you, yeah.
But on some level, Nick should be slightly embarrassed of where he's at in his life.
I think he
at
is.
29 years old.
I think when he's like, yeah, this is like where I live. Like, I think there's a level of like him trying to not show that he can't be that stoked.
And it's
being
not
like, "This is
just
my
Nick. I
mom's
do
basement."
think it's like a lot of young men. Like you should know you don't have to be in the stock market. But you should know
What stocks are?
Yeah, you should know some basic life skills.
I
And
think
it sounds
boiling
like,
water. I think
Yeah, the stocks, like fuck stocks. Who the fuck? I don't even know fucking shit about stocks.
but
But
just
it's
understand
like-
the concept of them.
No, that's like that. That is confusing. That's a whole different breed. Anything in like
Also,
finance
if you
numbers,
don't have your
I'm
own
not good.
spot,
Yeah,
like,
you're not focused
Why
on
are
stocks.
you-
yeah.
well,
I
it's-
think
it's
at 28, I probably didn't know anything about. Like at 28, I feel like I was like, all right, just like keep the roof over my head, like
Yeah.
keep going.
I feel like the looking in the fridge for pasta maybe was a little bit more telling than the like I don't know much about
I
stocks.
think what's
Yeah.
clear about Nick is that he doesn't know how to take care of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
if call me old fashioned, but like as a guy, I want to know that the people I love can trust in me to take care of them. And I
Yeah.
think Hannah wants to be taken care of, even though like she's very comfortable with taking care of herself. Nick is truly a specialist. Like in football, he's literally a specialist, the
Right.
position kicker and punter specialist. But even in his life, he seems very specialized. He even said he only does one thing. I bet Nick, if you're out there, I'd be willing to bet he's a section eater.
What do
He's
you
a
mean?
Section eater.
I'm not a section eater. Like I mix my potatoes and my gravy and my meat and
Oh.
whatever, and I have friends who will like eat their corn, eat their veggies, eat their eat the protein.
like things can't touch.
can't
and they
touch
don't-
whatever. My friend Joe.
Are you talking like start and finish one of the sides and then
Yeah,
move
he
on to
will-
the
That's
next
crazy.
one?
My
Like
friend-
not be like, let me get a little bit of this.
No, yeah. My friend Joe will not only section eat but prioritize. He will always eat the fries first, and then he'll eat around the burger. And
Nope.
it's crazy. No,
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy. I know. But I bet Nick specializes. I bet his mom makes him food and puts it in little sections.
I
and
will
then he
say,
eats-
like there's a difference between like nurturing and mothering, and it's like it's nice to nurture your man and like have that kind of like taking care of sense, but then there's a whole other thing to like teach them fucking everything
Mhm.
in this world because they just like they don't know.
I do
Right.
respect Nick that Nick is like, open to the fact that he recognizes he needs someone, maybe not quite as harsh or direct as Hannah, but someone who is like challenges him, and he
Right.
knows that he needs to be challenged. So like he has potential.
Like his ego doesn't inflate big and he doesn't lash out. Because sometimes when guys feel inferior or they
Yes.
feel small, they'll lash out even if
Mhm.
they don't have a leg to stand on. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like he hasn't been doing that and he's been patient. That's why I say like he seems really patient and like I think he's well aware that like he probably should be a little further along with like his independence and whatnot. But
I am curious if he they filmed this a year ago.
Mhm.
I'm curious if he still lives at home. Like, has he moved out since? That will be a big.
Yeah.
That'll be the big test. If like, does this really bother him, or is he just kind of totally comfortable with no responsibility?
Have you seen what Garrett looks like today?
Oh my God, bring it up,
No.
bring it up. You know that Garrett is engaged to Taylor. This is how you know.
Also, I was stalking his Instagram and I was like, hasn't posted since these fish posts that we were looking at. I was like,
Look at this.
he
Look
knows
at
how to hide it. Oh my God.
wait, what?
That is-
Yeah.
that is a man who is in a relationship with.
Dude's a model now.
Dude,
What the-
is a
He's hot.
model.
Hair
Fashion week.
changed everything.
Outfit is the beard, the outfit, the chains, the
Throws
the
in like
hair,
an early
yeah.
2000s boy band now.
Listen,
with the
like if you
hair.
are a
That's
young
sick.
man right now and you are in your, I don't know, if you're a young man, you need to have either girlfriends or women friends, because Garrett, before he went on the show, looked like a guy who doesn't have a lot of women in his life.
Right.
Not hanging around either girlfriends that are platonic friends
He
or
looks like a man who's a physicist that goes spearfishing
and hangs
in his
out with
off
bros
time.
all day
Yeah,
long. And he's just like,
It's crazy what such a little like it's just a haircut even.
No,
Like obviously the fit is also
Yeah. But
it's
the-
just a
Look
willing.
at this
the
guy.
smolder.
Smolder.
No,
He's objectively
He's
gorgeous.
And it's-
thriving.
Yeah.
dude.
It's like it goes from that
That's
that
that
is not the
amazing.
big smile to this smolder.
Oh, I'm happy for him.
Oh, I'm here for it.
They gotta be as of right now, like the front runners, right? Of everybody. I feel like they're so compatible.
What I love about them, because a lot of times, on Love is Blind, the couples who don't have the drama, who are kind of in love from beginning to end, they're kind of uninteresting because it's just
Right.
like, hey, we're just in love and we're
I
great.
mean, same with Love Island. Same with all of them.
Sure,
Like,
that's
to
typical.
get to the end with like a smooth, it just never.
No, it doesn't happen.
But what I like about Garrett and Taylor more than your typical, like, we're just in love, is like their willingness to describe and articulate every feeling they're feeling.
Yeah.
And so I'm very invested in the scenes that they're in because they're very good at describing the
Right.
moment they're in a way that other couples like them don't. Other
Right.
couples like them are in love. We're just like, yeah, we're just like so fucking in love. And, this
And
is
like
great.
the whole moving to San Diego, like it's not like it's a clean ride because he definitely is having an issue inside with that, but it's not like this hard, like I'm not leaving my family, like I want my grandkids near my grandparent or their grandparents, whatever. Like he's definitely open to compromise, which is really sick. I think that they're good. I think
There's
that-
zero chance they're not married. right
yeah,
now.
I mean, look at him.
It has to be. There's just no way he went from this to that without having
Crazy.
Yeah.
a woman in his life.
1,000%.
Yeah.
What is your take on Tim and Alex? Alex's apartment was crazy.
Right.
I'm telling you, these people, I think we can all recognize that moment with Tim and Alex's dad. Beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
that
my
was-
God.
yeah.
Sobbed.
Sobbed.
Cried,
Ugly
my
cried.
eyes out.
Like Alex and Tim separately are good people.
Yeah.
High character people, earnest people. Like they may not be your people. Like Tim definitely takes himself a little seriously. His man cave is like, wow, don't move your
Right.
don't move his shit. But
But he
like
seems harmless.
Yeah.
high character.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
these
yeah.
are and that moment with her dad, like that is a man who knows how to like that's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
To read this poem and this letter in front of someone. Like that is Tim's a man. He really is.
Yeah.
Really?
He killed that.
But Alex and Tim hate each other. They do.
I don't feel that.
I'm sorry. Like, there's no way, Alex. Let's think about how reality TV is made. Alex had a chance to pick up her place, and she chose not to.
Well, she was packing and she's a fashion content creator
No,
that
no,
I am like,
I'm-
there's shit being sent to you on a regular.
There's no way.
But our bedroom and our closet when I'm trying to pick an outfit,
It's messy.
It's crazy.
That and you know we all know as we cover reality TV. Once again, disclaimer: we don't know these people. This is a reality TV show. It's edited.
Mm.
We're just making commentary off of what we've seen. But what we saw was more than messy. That was giving filthy.
Wasn't one room just like trash?
Boxes and clothes.
It was.
like,
She was
It
like,
was.
you can sleep in here.
It was
Yeah.
giving
Oh, no,
a
that was
slightly.
Taylor's.
It was like what are those
That
like
was
smash
Taylor's.
rooms or whatever where you
Uh-huh.
can break?
It was giving a little filth. And then when Alex gets in there and she goes, I know it's messy, but I feel at home. I mean, this is a guy who she knows. She just saw his like
Right.
immaculate, everything is in its right place by the millimeter. And she's just like, yeah, come see my place.
I do love that a candle was lit.
Yeah. No, but she's not like, I'm sorry, when you really like someone, it's not disingenuous to like be your best self and show
Right.
up a good face and like make sure you don't fart around them because you really like them.
Uh-huh.
And she's just like, fuck it. I'm just going to show them exactly who I am. That is someone who really isn't sure she wants to get married to this person. She could have
Or-
picked it up.
Or
She could have
she's
picked
like,
it up.
he's gonna love me for who I am. and
Take
this
me
is
for
who
my
I
mess.
am. Take me, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I don't think anyone's that confident.
The only refute I'll have is that I'm like, for her to bring her dad into the scenario with what he's going through. My mom passed away from MS. It is a very traumatic diagnosis. So I'm like, for her to bring him in, have him read the letter,
Right.
go through all of those steps to not want to marry this man,
That's what I
you
said.
couldn't pay me.
That's what I said.
You
I was
know?
like, they have
That's
to work
fair.
out now. I mean, him
That is
like
very fair.
putting her father through like sitting and meeting this man, reading this letter, like everyone's crying. It's
Yeah.
just,
But if let's say they don't work out, that was still a beautiful moment that I'm glad we got to see. And listen, none of these couples might not work out. You know what I'm saying? This
Right.
is crazy what they are getting into.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
Garrett.
How many have made it in the past that are still together today?
A handful. Yeah,
Quite a few.
Quite a
Are
few
more than
you
you
know.
would think.
But like, no judgment if like they're leading with their hearts here. They're going
Right.
for it. I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that was disingenuous or somehow fake. If we find out Alex, that was a beautiful moment regardless.
Yeah.
And who knows? I'm obviously joking around about they hating each other. I'm pretty sure.
Well, early
Alex-
on, I was like, she doesn't. Like he was kind of being goofy and I got the dog in me and stuff. And she was like genuinely like, stop doing that. And I was like, you
Yeah.
don't want him to just kind of be goofy. Like it seemed like he was coming out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah, but you know, as a man,
Yeah.
right? Like let's say if Demi was like, I hate that about you, or let's go back to when you first were dating Demi, right? You're a
Right.
little nervous. You think she likes you. You're not sure if she likes you. You're just kind of like, if Demi was like, oh, I don't know if I like that hat, you wouldn't be like, well, I'm going to buy it anyways. You would be like, oh, okay. Like maybe later on you would, but
I just feel like at first he thought that she was playfully like, shut up. And so he was
Yes.
like, oh, that's the
funny.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing
We
that
banter.
we're like kind of like, yeah, like playfully,
Maybe.
like she's like, you're so stupid. And he's like, "Rrr, rrr, rrr," and then She's like, seriously, stop. And I was like, oh, fuck. She's like, don't do that
She's
for
like, you're
real.
annoying the fuck out of
Yeah,
me.
she's like, I hate it. This one more time and it's over.
I just think she could have rushed home for 5 minutes and done the whole thing where you throw everything in
Quick,
one
yeah,
college
yeah.
closet. Like, in 5 minutes, she could have done some serious damage by cleaning up that place. And she was just like, no, I'm going to let him see it.
I've done this where
Him
you're
aside
like,
the fucking cameras, I'd be like, nah.
Truly, where it's like, I'll go in first. Give me 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I'll be right back.
blitz it.
Stay right here. I've done that before.
Right. We've
Fuck yeah.
all done this.
Yeah.
And like, you know what? That's fine. And even just the effort of trying to clean it, even if she opened up the closet and it all came falling out,
Funny.
that's kind of funny. And it
Yeah.
just shows that it's kind of weird. Like, I'm all for keeping it real. I'm all for like going on a first date and just being your truest self. But like, honestly, the first date's not to like the date to be like, here are all my bad habits. And like,
Was it Love is Blind where someone, it was a reality show where someone came back to one of their houses and there was like food left out or something, or like the bathroom, like
Are you talking
the
about
toilet wasn't flushed or like something gnarly. I remember being like, whoa.
was it Izzy and
oh, it's right. It was Izzy.
Izzy, and it was like a girl's necklace or something in like a drawer, and he was
There was like
oh, my
weird
bad.
shit left that I was like, wait,
He's like, don't go in there.
you are trying to get caught. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
To answer your earlier question, there's 9 couples from the last 6 seasons that are still together.
I mean, when
It's
this
pretty good,
show
That's pretty
first
good.
came out, I was like, there's no chance any of this works.
Right?
So,
No, I was actually thinking about this last night. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Nally and I, you and Demi, you and Connor,
Mhm.
what's going to make all of these relationships work is like our willingness to keep putting in the effort
Mhm.
every day, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so if you're Garrett and Taylor, like, who the fuck knows, you know? But like, is it a huge risk? Of course, but like they're gonna work out whether they decide to keep choosing each other. You know, as corny as that sounds, that's kind of what it comes. It's what it comes down
It's
to.
so true, though. I mean, it sounds corny and cliche and whatnot, but it very much is. Once you're past the honeymoon infatuation stage and like really learning about each other,
right.
you have to choose every day to choose your person, because you can very easily choose to look at them through a lens that's negative or
Right.
pick them apart. And it's like, no, you have flaws. I have flaws. Accept that, but I choose you every single day.
You'll make
course.
mistakes. I'll make mistakes. I'll have to
Exactly.
apologize. You'll have to apologize. So at the end of the day, it just kind of comes down to like someone's willingness to fucking do it or not do it. So like
Exactly.
it's fascinating because like arranged marriages like have like this crazy good track record, because I think it comes down to it's almost like if you're willing to go through this experiment on Love is Blind, then you're willing to kind of maybe do what it takes to make
Right.
a relationship work. So you know, it's
And even what Taylor said to Garrett too, when they were kind of talking about how the experience is bonding, because they're like, not a lot of people are going to understand this experience. So that's why, like, even like the Love Island people, how they still stay friends after the fact. It's like you shared this bond in what you guys went through that nobody else on the outside world is going to understand.
Right.
So
Very unique.
Going back to Steven and Monica, are you allowed to get drunk while doing a sleep test? I feel like
What's a
Wait,
sleep
what's
test? first
isn't
of
that
all?
where they like hook you up to a bunch of stuff and you like sleep and they
yeah,
like
like
go
if you have sleep apnea.
Oh yeah,
You know,
someone I
they'll-
know tried that and said that they weren't able to fall asleep because they were like, "There's too much
Yeah,
stuff
so-
on me." Like, I
exactly.
was
And then like
overthinking it.
how much REM are you into
Right,
versus
right.
not, and you know.
but he says he was like really drunk.
But I'm confused where I'm like, why
You're
are you
just not
taking
gonna get a good sleep when you're drunk. It's like,
Yes, that's
they would be
normal.
like, "Go home,
Yeah, like,
obviously
you
come back.
set
This isn't a
yourself
real
up
like."
for
He's like,
failure.
You're drunk every night. Is
It's
that what
a-
we're testing for?
It's a sleep test. I went over to this chick's house. We had some crazy sex, and then I was wondering, could I fall asleep after said crazy sex? And then turns out I couldn't, and so I was like, I called you.
It was the weirdest lie. I mean, such a lie.
She's like, were you even at a sleep test? He's like, yes.
And then she's
but I
like, "You
was
were
really
texting
drunk
today," and then he's like, "Well, I don't remember." Like, no,
I'm
dude.
not responsible for what I did last
He was
night, but
kind
today
of saying
that's
that
weird.
he was owning up to it, but denying it all at the same time. I was like, "Whoa, he's scrambling." He like borderline looked into the camera lens and was like,
Did.
he was like, "I'm gonna have to live with this." Like, so he just knew, like, I'm cooked.
He did.
Like, bro, what are you doing?
it was like he broke the fourth wall. He's like, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna
went
have to
full
live
like
with
Michael
this.
Scott with
He
he
went
went full
Michael
Michael Scott with
Scott.
it. He was like, "I'm gonna have to live with this for a long time."
That was great. It was like she wanted to read those texts out loud, like for the camera. He's like, they're deleted. I have no idea what.
Yeah, and he's
they're
like, "I
gone.
shouldn't have
Long
came on the
gone."
show. My life is drastically gonna change."
But why do you think he did?
Did what?
You anticipate. You know how the internet works. A lot of people are making accusations like narcissist and like
why he came on
How
the
can
show.
you lie? I mean, listen, it's a fucking crazy lie. We don't know what the truth is, but we can speculate that he was clearly into some.
We're gonna ask Monica.
We're gonna ask Monica.
We're
Well,
gonna get
my
the truth.
speculation is that he came on for not the right reasons. And that
But there's a difference between young and
No,
but having an active lifestyle,
the
which he clearly
idea
had.
that you're afraid of what's going to happen in a year from now when the groupies slide into the DMs, like you're not here for the right reasons. You don't care about her. You're more excited about the fact that
Yeah,
you're going to get a little celebrity.
Yeah, but when he said that, we were all just thinking, man, that's kind of weird, and maybe you just came here for the fame.
Oh, it gave me the instant ick.
But we have now come to find out that, like, again, we don't know the details, but he's clearly active in a lifestyle, that he doesn't want to give up and has no intentions of giving up.
But you put a ring on someone's finger.
And had a whole hours and hours of conversation with Monica, really opening up, talking about, like, finding out that, he was like 1/8 Black, and then doing the research to learn about his culture, and he's so intentional and he's an oversharer. And when someone is an oversharer, you expect that they can't help but share the truth. It's like Steven, the first couple episodes gave the type of energy where it's like, he's not a bad guy, he's a weird guy, he's just a guy who just is full of thoughts, and he just wants to feel safe. And when he feels safe with someone, he just shares and shares and shares. And it's not like most people don't share. And this is way more than that. This is like, he's actively participating in whatever this is, and he hid it, and he got caught, and like that's crazy.
I mean, he did open up about cheating, and he said, like, I've done the
emotionally
work.
cheating.
Was it emotionally?
He said, I was
didn't
texting or DMing.
Yeah, his whole thing was like, I've really done this thing, I'm ashamed of it. And I'm not trying to downplay emotional cheating because it could be very damaging for relationships, but like he did the thing where it's like, it was so terrible what I did, and then you find out what he did, and you're like, oh, that's not, we all want to, it's like, we want to, you're being too hard on yourself.
She was like, I'm 34 or whatever, however old she was like, like, we've all done some stuff, whatever. Like,
but I think it was like the fact that he just like played so much into like all the therapy he's done, all the work he's put into, and then
he oversold his character.
This
and
like safe place. So and it's like, no, you're.
You so quickly, like, we're texting. Like, what are you even here for?
I want to know. She was like, I'm disgusted by these texts, these kinks that you were like, what the fuck?
She said
were the
fetish
messages?
shit.
The fetishes.
She was like, you're talking about fetish shit.
What
Obviously,
is it?
I pray she.
I think he's into. Have you ever seen the show Billionaires? He's into like dominatrix, women coming in.
He did bring that up. He brought up like
submissive,
shit. He did say that.
I think he likes. I think he likes to be whipped and spanked, and I think he likes his nipples.
Because she was like, "You're definitely into butt stuff," and he was like, well,
"Not all the time."
Like, yeah.
Well, no. Then he just casually throws that. You mean pegging? And we're like, nobody said that. No.
Yeah, butt stuff. There's so many things before pegging in my mind.
That's like, what are we
He's
talking
like,
about?
pegging only sometimes. Like, okay.
Whoa, we were talking about a finger.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was crazy. Well, I feel like
Could I actually pull up some stuff from his Instagram that he's posted within the last 10 minutes?
He's posted within the last 10 minutes?
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Please, Zach.
This is very, very kind of Steven to give us this content.
Training to battle all the stay-at-home wives that hate me for ruining their fantasy of who they think I am.
That's a weird post.
Is he allowed to do that?
Well,
can you like foreshadow that you're about to get canceled?
Well, it's out.
It's out today.
Now. It's out.
Oh, it's out.
It dropped
it's
at
out.
midnight. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a weird way to play the victim.
Well, she also posted, so I feel like the show had them post photos.
What does this caption say?
Wait, why did she have to post one with him? And he
but like again,
post a meme.
Steven, we're not here to kink shame you. We're not here to judge you for anything that you're into. It's the fact that you clearly hit it.
You're cheating. You're lying.
You're lying.
Like, that's the part that's weird.
But Monica got engaged. She got engaged.
Right.
She's a 36-year-old woman who's like tired of dating fuckboys, whatever, took a chance on this unique show and got engaged. And now for the rest of her life, and I can relate to this, she has to be like, yeah, I got engaged and it didn't work out. Like, it's kind of like a stain. I don't think she should see it that way, but like, we all, no one wants to get engaged multiple times and then broken up with or whatever. And this guy got engaged to Monica off of false pretenses. He lied about who he was.
He took it away from her, yeah.
He took it away from her. And for Steven to be like, you're just judging me for who I am? No, you didn't want to share who you were. You are judging yourself for who you are, Steven, not
And his
us.
his reaction was literally just like, I shouldn't have came on this show. I was like, oh, it's done.
Whoa.
Yeah, just like.
Not the proposal.
Doesn't
like
sit
that,
down
yeah.
even. Like, doesn't like, he's just like, shouldn't have came on the show. Like, I'm fucked.
I was literally, I met Miguel from Love Island, USA last night. And we had a quick conversation and we were just talking about, and I was just like, hey, I'm such a fan of you because like Miguel, and I don't know where you are, don't want to spoil anything. But
I don't even know if is he coming in late?
He's a bombshell for sure.
Bombshell, yeah.
Miguel.
Have you gone to the heart rate challenge?
I'm like, wait, British.
He's British.
No.
Yeah.
There's only one British guy right now.
Oh, okay.
Aaron.
You're
Yeah.
Aaron. Well,
hang on.
Hang on. It gets much better. But Miguel was always like, here's the rule of reality TV. I don't care what show you're on, is do not fucking lie.
Yeah.
Just be who you are. And so this Miguel comes in kind of very fuckboyish, and you're just like, oh. And every opportunity he was like, this is what I want to do. This is how I feel. He just never lied. He just always presented as, sometimes maybe giving a little fuckboy, but an honest one.
Right.
You don't fucking lie on reality TV. Don't misrepresent. And you can be whoever the fuck you are, because all of us who watch reality TV, we all have our secrets. We all have our insecurities. We all have our kinks. We want to see other people in the TV shows we watch. We don't want to be lied to. We don't want to watch someone pretend to be someone they're not so they can get the fame and the clout and the followers. And Steven isn't being judged for who he is. He's being judged being a fucking liar.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's how he went about it, not what he did.
He's like the Trevor, I guess, of this.
Trevor,
Wasn't it Trevor that had like a whole...
Which one remind me,
Remember
Trevor?
With the
big
mullet?
sweet guy who was telling the girl he loved her,
What
the
show?
bodybuilder?
Jess Chelsea,
Love is
Love is
Blind.
Blind
Love is
last season.
Last season. He came
He's
on
like
to
the
the
big muscle
reunion.
guy, and he didn't make it out of the pods.
Trevor.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes.
And he was like telling her, like, I love you. I'm going to be with you after this. Like, I'm just going to go
yeah,
do
yeah,
this.
It's just a show.
The
yeah.
text.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's so weird because the amount of people that go on a lot of these shows, for sure they're thinking like, I'm going to have a career after this. Like, I'm going to be an influencer. But the second people know that you're there for that, they're like, "No, you're done.
Out."
No,
You're
and that's what
done.
I'm saying. You can do that. You can go there hoping to get attention. Anyone who goes on this show, I
feel
care.
like Love Island and stuff is more like people are like, whatever. But like Love is Blind going on for attention when it's an engagement
Yeah.
is like a little bit
Marriage.
gnarlier. You're like,
It is
oh,
gnarly.
that's like really fucking with
But
someone's
listen,
life.
you know it's a TV show, and I think anyone who goes on
course.
reality TV has a little bit of a narcissism element to them. I say that as someone who's going on TV. It's like you gotta like attention.
Uh-huh.
You you can't be no one goes on reality TV and who claims that I like my privacy. It's like okay,
have
John
no social
Jackson.
media.
Yeah, like But there's obviously degrees of that. Like doesn't mean you're a fucking narcissist. It means you you don't hate the attention.
Yeah.
But again, you can go on there like the intention and still be authentic. You can show up and, hope that you get a following and hope that something comes of this and still decide to be honest, authentic, lean into the environment, embrace the experiment, things like that. You can do both. Like it's not mutually
And then there's
exclusive.
Leo, who I don't think that he knew there were cameras at all. This guy was wild. He was saying the craziest shit. I was actually like, there's no way this guy's not a paid actor.
I fucking love that you said that. I fucking love it. I'm just gonna buy you some.
I love the fuck out of you. I swear to God. I was like, whoa.
It's so aggressive.
He's like, I'm here with you right now, but I just wish I was on one knee proposing to Brittany. Can you please tell her that? Bro, you're spiraling.
Spiraling.
So good. No, I actually was scared that the show, when they didn't go forward, I was actually like, oh no. That's who I was looking forward to the most.
that was a bit upsetting that they made us invested in them and then took that away from us. But I think they had to do it because of the love triangle between Hannah and him.
Right.
But
also, he's just great TV.
He is.
Come on.
He
Brittany did another look right into the lens at one point when she was like, I wrote out my feelings or whatever. She showed the camera the page and looked into the lens while she was talking, and I was like, y'all are made for each other.
they really are, honestly. That's what's crazy about them. They actually seem like
she's down to be the trophy wife, and he's down to just be rich and pay for shit.
What is
Go
wrong
to Miami
with this?
and spend a bunch of money. And
they
they were both very seemed like
feel
they would have actually been kind of
If
good.
he was cool at the reveal, it maybe would have
Guys
been a little
holding
bit
on to her,
better.
grabbing her
Dear
hair.
life.
I was
He's
actually
got his legs wrapped around her.
I had to go to the chiropractor from cringing so hard. I was actually like, oh God, no.
How do you feel when they get down on one knee? Because
In the pods.
every time I get the heebie-jeebies.
It is. It
Yeah.
gives me the and
Are you
every
kneeling?
time they
Are you
meet.
standing? Are you sitting? Are you ducking? I always love how they ask that. It's like,
And when you can tell they're going off the top, you're like, oh, you should have wrote something down, bro. You are nervous right now.
yeah.
But every single reveal, even when you're that went well, it is so awkward.
So-
No matter what,
They're all
they're
shaking
glitching
so
yeah,
bad.
every time. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be so weird.
oh, I would be terrible.
And I love how
It's so
they
strange.
always ask am I what did you expect? Am I what you expected? And it's
It's
no
on
one's gonna
Christmas.
say
Opening gifts gives me anxiety because you're whoever gave me, especially when it's like maybe a family member who doesn't know you all that well and they get you something and you're like, oh my God, thank you. It's like that times a billion. You're like, yes,
I've
it's exactly what I thought.
wanted this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when they can't even hide that they're disappointed, they're like, all right,
I
way
thought you
shorter
were a
than
little
said.
taller. Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, sick. You're not 6 feet.
No, it's okay. Yeah, no, I'm really happy.
Before we get to Monica, other than Garrett and Taylor, because I feel like that was Garrett posting that glow up was a spoiler.
Yeah.
Who are the other couples that you think are going to make it? And by make it, I mean still married today.
I was still married
wow.
today. I mean, I do think Ramses and Marissa,
Really?
because there's so much, the vibes were so good with them. But then there was like those two things where he was like, I'm putting my foot down. And if there's more of those, there could be way more things that he has like these like contingencies.
I mean,
or
but
whatever.
also just kind of judging a huge part of who she is.
Of
Seems
course,
like
that's
kind
like-
of a big deal.
Yeah.
But
And
she
I'm
didn't seem to really
She didn't seem as
care.
shook about it as.
Yeah.
I know. I really wanted Mom to find out how much
I did
he
too.
judged her.
Actually, I
military
don't know
experience.
because she was like, if like I'm gonna tell my kids about what I did and let them decide, and if they want to do it, like that's on them. Like, there's no way he's gonna allow his kids to go join the military or whatever. Like, he's just gonna straight up be like, nah. Like, if he would divorce her over it, like as if he's gonna be like, yeah, it's your life, go ahead.
Yeah.
He seems like a guy who's, who's in touch with his feelings, and then therefore feels like his feelings trump everyone else's.
Or is like the unanimous ideology, because when the friend was like, I also served the military, he was like,
Yeah.
like, now I'm outnumbered. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Where it was like, you weren't speaking with your full chest once you found out
Mhm.
somebody else was also a part of it.
Ooh,
And there's a lot of people I'm sure that have very similar, like he just maybe needs to be with someone and they're just locked in on the same kind of views. Like that might actually be too big of a fundamental difference.
Yeah.
I'm just like, the way I am, I'd be like, whatever you are into, whatever you did, be proud of yourself. Like, I'm not so into anything like he
I mean,
is
he's
with
looking
that.
at her as if like she signed back up that she's basically a murderer. That's how he looked at her. It was fucking crazy.
And there was
Right.
there's no wiggle room for like understanding. It was like, you have to understand my point from his perspective, but like he wasn't willing to like hear her
Someone
perspective.
who literally hasn't been in the military, knows nothing what it's fucking like, and
Mhm.
has no idea what the feeling and what it might be like to sign up for the military, knowing that once you sign on that dotted line, you could be put in the literal line of fucking fire.
Right. He kept
And-
saying it's a choice. It's a choice. Nobody put a gun to your back, but it's like sometimes people have to make choices for other reasons than just freely making a choice.
Right.
Or just sign up to do something honorable and serve your country, even if it's an imperfect system. Also, just again, to just fully enjoy the benefits of our imperfect system while judging people who give us those benefits is something I'm just like not
Not here. for.
I'm just not here for it. And then that has
Right.
nothing to do with people, I love how Marissa openly criticized, what she thought was not okay with the military. She has the right, she more than anyone has the right to do that as someone who served. Listen up, renters. Ever feel like you're stuck in a loop of rental payments, just watching your money vanish into thin air? It's time to turn that rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. That's where Built Rewards comes in. Built is breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Built points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points toward a flight or a hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties. You can also use your points to book fitness studio classes, redeem them toward a future rent payment. They're designed to meet your lifestyle. Pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bank Rate. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/VIALL. That is joinbuilt.com, joinbilt.com/VIALL. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/VIALL to start earning points with your rent payments today.
Listen, y'all know we've talked about it ad nauseum to me at this point that I struggle with excessive sweat glands and sometimes a BO issue, some
fine.
would say,
It's fine.
but not since I started using Lumi. Lumi creates deodorant products that can be used head to toe. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor up to 72 hours. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body: pits, underboobs, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and more. Lumi is safe to use all over. Lumi deodorant was created by an OBGYN who discovered odor wasn't just an underarm thing, it's an all-over thing. So she developed Lumi, a pH-optimized deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor everywhere for up to 72 hours, so fall can just be fresh. Unlike certain traditional deodorants that try to mask odor with a fragrance, Lumi is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts, more like a pre-odorant. Plus sweat control, the same outrageously effective whole-body deodorant you love with the bonus of sweat control, now available in a cream tube with 72-hour and sweat control. It's baking soda free and paraben free and pH balanced for safe use below the belt. You can choose from a variety of fresh, bright scents like clean tangerine, lavender sage, and toasted coconut. Toasted coconut is my favorite. I love anything coconut or vanilla, just saying.
I'm just here to tell you that everyone needs to have the deodorant wipes wherever they go. I mean, it's super convenient, and everyone just needs a little wipe of the armpits just to wipe away that stink. You never know. You don't want to be caught in public with some stinky armpits, and those deodorant wipes are an absolute lifesaver. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, including the mini body wash and those deodorant wipes that I talk so much about, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with your already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code VIALL for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code VIALL at LUMEDEODORANT.com. That's LumiDeodorant.com, code VIALL. Monica!
Hi, guys.
We did not expect you back so soon.
Yeah. I didn't expect to be back so soon either.
We were watching it and we were like, holy shit, we need to get Monica back on. First of all, we got you flowers.
Thank you.
Yeah, here you go.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah, you're just a girl. You just want some flowers. I mean, I know you're limited in time, so let's just cut to the chase. What can you share about what went down with you and Steven? How did you even find out about what you found out? Like, just share whatever you can. So many people have questions.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy to. I guess I first just want to clear up like how I found the messages.
Yeah.
There's been some confusion already about that. So, me and all the other engaged couples were living in the same apartment building in DC, and Sweet, Taylor, and Garrett had sent us a message earlier that day saying, hey guys, we're making you all fall cookies and we're going to bring them by later. Like, we're going to text when we're ready to drop them off. And so Steven and I were hanging out in the apartment, having a great, great time, laughing, like just, there were no cameras. We were just having a great time. And he stepped into the bathroom, and as he did, his phone went off and he got a text that we were waiting for, and it was from Garrett. And I said, oh, babe, like Garrett just texted. I'm, going to respond. It's about the cookies. And I went to go click the message, and next thing you know, I'm in his text and I see a girl's name. And I almost was like, this was something I was not expecting from this person really at all. And some people might think that that's crazy, but there was a second there that I literally remember thinking, like, should I click on this? Like, no, don't be crazy. And I clicked
female
her name.
intuition.
Yeah.
And what was in the messages?
Honestly, I've been asked this a lot, even then when it was happening real time. And I scrolled through a bunch, but I was just so, I was so taken aback. Like, I couldn't breathe. That even right after it all went down, I didn't even remember the girl's name, truly. I do remember seeing like really kinky, dirty talk. Like, one specific message was just talking about how he's never been able to find someone who satisfies his kinks the way that she does. They were like, and I'm not kink shaming. I've been accused of kink shaming already. Like, I just didn't know that this was the person I was, that I was sharing a bed with by any means.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's not kink shaming. He's just like, he was hiding it from you. I don't know if you saw this, but like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes ago, it seems like Steven, in anticipation for the criticism he might receive, posted something about like, people being mad about who he really is. And it gave very kind of victim in terms of like how he decides to see himself in this. But like, to me, it's just more like, no, it's not. The number one mistake people make on these shows, as I'm sure you know now, is to not be honest, especially given the expectations of this show. Like, did he reveal any of these kinks or interests or the fact that he had this seemingly whole other life that he was unwilling to give up despite getting engaged to you, you know? And so like as someone who knows what it's like to get engaged and have it not work out, even if it's on TV, like you are now someone who's been engaged to someone you're no longer engaged to, and you have to live with that. And Steven made that choice to like hide his secrets and not share who he really is. And no one's mad at him for his kinks. They're mad at him because he's a liar.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more. Thank you. Preach, mic drop. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt in that moment. And the other thing is, like, I was taking this so seriously. Like, I was really in love with this person. And one of the things that you don't get to see a lot of on the show thus far is how much I talked about my past with cheating. I've been cheated on, gosh, in my 30s. I don't even know if I've had a relationship where I haven't been cheated on. So that was something that I really opened up to Steven about often. And he made me feel so safe. And like, I never in a million years would have thought that he would have done what he did. It was such a big part of our relationship, was just talking through my trauma. And then also, second to that, like, I was taking it seriously. You're thinking about marrying this person in a matter of weeks. So I was not like holding back. You don't have a chance to leave a stone unturned. Like you have to address everything. When we spoke last time, me talking about Steven's chattiness. Well, maybe there are some things in a normal relationship outside of this experiment where like you kind of can just like let things go. But I felt like I'm really going to marry this person. Like I have to put it all out there. And I certainly don't feel like he was doing the same.
So was he at a sleep test while also being drunk? I'm like confused. Can you be drunk at a sleep test? I feel like the doctors would be like, maybe come back when you're sober.
And also like couldn't he just do this after filming? You know, couldn't he be like, hey, I'm gonna do the sleep test like in 4 weeks? You know, like
yeah,
he had to go to the
right?
pods and immediately come back and understand his sleep patterns.
Yeah, I think it was something that's really
Emergency.
funny. I think it was something related to, like, he had it on the books for a while because it had something to do with his insurance from being in the military. Like he had to do it by a certain time.
Okay.
So after everything went down, I certainly did not believe he was at a sleep test. He did send me a picture while he was there. I still, in my I have trauma from my past. I was like, he like faked this picture. It's not from
AI.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So I went up and like did, you could see the location and the time and all that. And so he really was, but like, I don't know. I've never done a sleep test, but like, God, I definitely wouldn't think my fiance was like getting hot and bothered and horny during a sleep test. Like, thought I'd be safe at least in that environment, but no.
So after, Steven broke the fourth wall and looked at it and said, I'm going to have to live with this, which was kind of sad and hilarious all at the same time. What conversations, if any, have you had with Steven, post him leaving the show?
Yeah, that part actually really drove me crazy in not even watching it, like in the moment, because I was so hurt. And I was like, it seems like he really only cares that he got caught on a TV show.
Yeah.
Like this is just normal behavior for him. And so that was really, really hurtful. I think that it's something that we still continue to work through. You'll hear more at the reunion,
okay. But
yeah,
you are still in communication.
We are in communication, not often. There's not a lot of depth there by any means, but we communicate.
Okay. Speaking of reunion, I guess if you had one question, I'm sure you'll have more than one question, but what is something you really want to ask him or get off your chest and maybe get an answer? And maybe you've already asked him this, but this all happened on TV and, I don't think you need to be embarrassed, but he risked embarrassing you and taking this moment away from you on TV. So you have the right to ask him on TV, why he chose to do what he did. What would you want to ask, or what do you want to know? And what can we expect at the reunion in terms of this potential confrontation?
I think I would really want to understand, like, if truly, genuinely, if he's being honest, did he come on the show with the intent of actually leaving with a wife? That's my biggest question. I think he would have been happy to leave with a girlfriend. But I don't think that he was looking for actual marriage. I think that the reunion is going to be wild. I don't know if you've watched the latest drop of episodes, but all three of them, but they're crazy. So I don't plan on holding back at all. And yeah, it should be juicy.
We did not see anything, so I'm curious if there was a conversation after his recap of what him and Garrett were talking about in Cabo about, when in a year from now when the groupies want to suck our dicks. There was no let's go back to the room and talk about this. So was there any conversation after that, or did we kind of just move on?
I will say that if you see me starting to get the ick, that was not the first or last time I heard little comments like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It seemed like he was trying to almost breadcrumb you into revealing his kinks,
Yeah.
Like,
I
do you like
agree.
Pegging? What? Huh? Who said that? Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, what was going through your mind while you're just trying to get a foot rub and he's over here throwing out pegging and fetishes and you're just saying you could do whatever you want to him whenever you want, and you're just sitting here being I'm good. What were you
I'm
thinking?
telling. Yeah. I was stuffing rice into my face. Honestly, I think at first it took me a minute with him because I couldn't tell if he was just being funny. I thought maybe we just had different senses of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very sexual, very graphic. And when I started picking up on the fact that he was actually being serious, yeah, it just made me uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable.
You seem like you really want to empathize with Steven and be compassionate, and still it's hey, this sucks. But he really lied to you. I mean, he had a huge secret. And I know the internet loves to throw around big words like narcissist and things like that, but it is crazy how open Steven tried to portray himself as this oversharer and, open book. And he can't help but just say things. And that gives such a false sense of security. And I don't know, you seem like a highly intelligent, intuitive person. What does your gut tell you why Steven did this and who is he? He was called a sweet soul the first couple episodes. And I'm curious what your read on his character is today.
I really do think that Steven, of course, is a good person. I also think that Steven was pretty good at telling me the things that I wanted to hear. And I think that he talked a lot, but didn't always get down to the things that I needed to know. So I believe now, reflecting on everything that's happened since then, all that I know, that is a part of who he is in his life in terms of sexually, and probably something that I should have been brought up to speed on.
So that was, you talk for hours and hours and hours in the pods, and obviously we only see a little chunk of it. So kinks and sex, was that ever brought up in the pods?
Never to me, ever. I was someone who it took me a little bit of time to get comfortable talking about sex in that environment.
I'm sure.
So I eventually did, which you can see, but it took me a little bit of time. But it's funny you asked that because looking back on everything then and how things went down, I do remember thinking in the pods that a couple of the other girls had made comments to me of I wasn't really sharing who I was dating or who I liked until closer to the end. But I remember girls saying comments yeah, I put Steven at the bottom of my list because he was talking really dirty. And you would think I would have asked questions or said why, but in that environment, I just didn't. So there were signs that were definitely there, but not to me personally.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you almost wanted to take the environment so authentically that you almost didn't listen to your instincts in a weird way. I know you have to get going, but I just want to pivot 1 second to a different couple, Marissa and Ramses. I just never would have expected Ramses would be the type of guy who would make his partner feel guilty for not wanting to take birth control, given how enlightened he tries to come across. Were you as shocked by that as I anticipate most of the audience was? What was your read on that?
You know what? I love dishing the tea, and especially with you guys. That episode, I had to fast forward through certain parts to make it to these interviews. So I actually have not seen that conversation yet.
Okay.
Let's check it out. It's wild.
But let's just say the girls' chat has been
popping off.
Oh, I'm sure.
Popping off.
To be a fly on the wall. What did you make of Tyler having 3 children? And did you know about that as the world found out, as the internet kind of started to expose him, or did Ashley confide in the other girls?
So Ashley's a really good friend of mine. She's probably the person I'm closest to. I love all the girls, but Ashley and I are very, very, very close. So, I was living down the hall from them, of course, at the time of that conversation. I really want to let them speak on it because it is, so personal and there's a lot more to come. But it was really wild seeing it today for the first time. In my opinion, it felt like such a loving conversation between them. I thought that they not like some of the conversations I was seeing with me and Steven in that last episode. So,
okay. So more to come.
More to come.
All right.
More to come.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on and taking the time and shedding some light on this. We certainly are anxious to see the reunion. Please don't hold back. We really just go for it. He really screwed you over. And do we know for certain that he's a good guy?
He really hurt me. Like, I was so hurt. So, I don't know.
Okay. That seems, yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to ask, and I don't know if you're allowed to answer, but are you contractually obligated to post photos while it's airing? Because I was so confused by both of you posting each other and tagging each other in it.
Am I contractually obligated to post? No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so that was free will.
Yeah.
Free will.
That was free will.
Was that more like you just really weren't sure? I had, correct me if I'm wrong, but I took it as more like, how do you handle batches of episodes coming out and not spoiling, and it's more like that.
I feel
I don't
like
think it's
that is.
Yeah. It's all of those memories are ones that I have been excited to share with anyone for over a year now, right? So I hope, my hope more than anything is after the reunion, all of that will make a lot more sense in terms of like where our relationship is now, why I would do that.
Okay.
And if not, have me back on and I'll give you the
For sure.
full skinny.
One more really quick question. How do you think, and we've obviously seen one post from him since, but how do you think Steven will navigate his social media presence now that the world has seen this about him?
I would really hope that he would just take accountability and not make excuses. That's what I've been hoping for since the moment after it happened. I've already seen the comment section, guys. It's insane. It's wild. People are going crazy in my comments and his comments. So I've seen some of the things he's been saying, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so far pretty disappointing because it's very much like, don't judge me for who I am. And again, we're judging you for being a liar and taking this away from Monica. Like, it's not that complicated.
I agree. I totally agree.
Monica, we really appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time and joining us again. Good luck at the reunion. We're excited to see it. And I'm sorry it ended the way it did for you.
Thank you so much. I'm such big fans of you guys, so I really appreciate you having me on.
Likewise. Well, thanks for taking the time, Monica.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Damn. What do you think, Jutes?
I mean, I feel like the producers were like, we know what Steven's like, and we're just going to make it a surprise. If he had been
telling it,
we didn't hear any of that in the pods.
True.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were like, oh, no, we can't show this because it has to be
We're going to surprise
bomb
everyone.
that gets dropped. Because he's otherwise like a teddy bear. Like I said, like he projected that he was this like harmless, like I DM somebody once and I'm so wrong for it.
Or like I speak too much, so maybe I put my foot in my mouth every once in a
Yeah,
while.
like, oh,
I can't help but be so honest. That's my biggest gripe with him,
But if he was being like, if he was the bottom of people's list for being like weird,
Raunchy, yeah.
They would have shown us that.
So they were probably like,
True.
there has to be an element of like, what the fuck? No way, Steven.
Those editors in the editing room were working.
Yeah, I feel like,
They were
of
clocking.
Well, they're doing their job.
Yeah.
course.
Great job.
We
Yeah,
appreciate you
it
coming
worked.
on, man. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having
Come
me,
guys.
guys.
We enjoy your takes
Yeah.
on
Good.
reality TV. Where can people follow you, enjoy your music?
Jutes, Jutes, Jutes Music on Instagram and all that stuff. But if you search Jutes anywhere, not Juice, Jutes. Worst name ever. My name's Jordan Lutz, and so I just did a thing. But like when it's loud, bro, I'm Juice. Like when it's loud, there's no way I gotta spell my shit out or write it
Is it
down.
juice? No,
Yeah.
juice. Juice.
The amount of times I've gotten off stage and they're like Juice, and I'm like, dude,
No.
terrible.
Well, we appreciate you, whatever your name is.
Yeah.
We love you, and make sure to follow him, listen to his great music, and please come back anytime.
Oh yeah, thanks for having
All
me.
right, up next, Keith.
Keith.
Keith, how's it going, big guy?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm
at you.
great.
It's so good to see you again.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice seeing you.
we really got to see a lot of you last night.
I don't know about a lot. There's a whole 15 seconds of me, but yeah.
Well, I just mean
Well,
like
the Chippendales.
the Chippendale, you know.
You were, woo!
Okay. Let's start over. I was thinking of Dancing with the Stars when I was on that and met you. It was Chippendales. Yeah, you're going to see. I don't know if it's my finest dancing moments, but it was definitely enjoyable.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. Yeah.
You seem to really have fun with it. Really enjoy just like the moment.
It's the camera angle too, because the guys in the back, we're all standing back there and we're clapping our hands, cheering everybody on. And they said when I dropped to my knees and went in, they were like, the clapping starts to go like, what's he doing? They're like, hey, Keith, where did you go on that one? I was like, I don't know. It just all came to me at once.
I know. I'm guessing you haven't seen the episode yet, but because it's on tonight for you. But have you sat the kids down and gave them a heads up about Dad being an exotic dancer?
My kids know me, so yeah, I'll probably post something back around. I don't know. God, it's got to be way before kids. I'd say early '90s houseboat trip. I picked that outfit on purpose. When I went in and I saw the outfit, that's been a go-to Halloween costume several years.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Well,
so the kids already know who I am. I'm not hiding.
All right. Dad's a freak.
They know their dad.
Oh, and I don't think that's a proud moment either sometimes.
Yeah, you are who you are, Keith. There was a moment where you really, well, I mean, it was hard to really tell, but you called yourself out for kind of clamming up with Joe, and I forgot who you were talking to, but you're like, I really screwed up on that conversation. Do you remember it?
Oh God. Yeah. So I came back and it was the first time that I ever felt like I was on camera. And, from the first impression, Rose, it was, I talked about taking that station wagon, going to the beach, grabbing a bottle of wine, sitting on the beach, having, cheese and crackers, the whole bit. So I went to the producer. I said, can we set something like that up? And just being in the suit and sitting down, the bottle of wine, and I just froze. And I got into like food. It's the worst question you could ever ask. What would your last meal be? You don't say that on anybody. You're on death row. What's your last meal, Joe? And I'm just going, where am I going with this?
So anticipating her death. It's like, whoa, it got a little dark.
Great questions for a first date. I'll write a book on how not to. Yeah, exactly. So so I went to the guys and they're all laughing. They're like, Keith, they were pumping me up, which is really cool. The guys were awesome. But then we're sitting around and we're all talking. And even one of the producers walked by and he looked at Dan. He said, hey, Dan, did anybody else shit the bed tonight? And he was like, hey, thanks a lot. Yeah. Besides me, you mean? Yeah.
I was a little worried about you. I'm like, this guy got the first impression, Rose, and he's going to be gone week 4,
I thought I was out, but the guys really did pump me up. They're like, no, I mean, it's a body of work, and we'd had great talks, these last few weeks anyway. So, it just didn't go right. I just didn't feel like myself for the first time ever, probably on the show.
She was like, "What is your retired day look like?" And you were like, "The day of the thought of the day of the thought." That's me. It was like, okay.
I told you, I just froze. I was like, because I know what my day looks like. I get up, I'm going to take a walk, get some exercise in, and if I'm near a beach, it's going to be on the beach, dip in the water. God, it's going to be so nice.
It was sweet. It was an endearing moment.
Yeah.
Endearing. Thanks.
I know you can't tease too much, but can we expect you to recover from this and grow your relationship with Joan? Or?
Well, that's where I'm going to try to go from now. I mean, the next step is, I got the rose.
Okay.
Which I thought was barely. But, so I got the rose, and now it's just, I think I need to show her, I've always been a fun guy, and that's who I am. And I need to not hide my emotions behind my fun guy. I think that's also what I learned through these last few weeks as well. And so I just need to show her the little more sensitive side, who I am. I'm a very caring, loving person, and I just need to try to show that to her and move on.
Where are you from again? Remind me.
I'm living in San Jose. I've been here since '86. I grew up in Indiana, Columbus, Indiana, but moved out here in '86.
NorCal.
Okay. Who are your teams?
Oh, Niners, Warriors, Giants. I was a Cubs fan for the longest time, but and then I couldn't be a Niners. It was hard when I moved out here. I was a Bears guy, but you couldn't, in '86, you didn't have DirecTV or anything. So It took me a while to jump on the 49ers because I didn't want to be on the bandwagon when they were winning all the Super Bowls.
Okay, but
yeah,
now
no, I'm a hardcore Giants, Niners, Warriors.
There you go. What is this? What has this whole experience meant to you? You know, it's been so charming to see. You know, really the friendships. Obviously, we're rooting for Joan. We wanted to fall in love, but the connections we're seeing, you know, with all the men, and then obviously last season with the women. It's such a endearing, you know, just thing to watch. You know, it's just like I think friendships and making friendships is something that I feel like a lot of people as they get older kind of give up on, and to see you guys reconnect with each other in ways that you are is so, you know, it's special from this end, but what has it meant to you?
Yeah. Well, even my girls, you know, when I went on the show, they're like, Dad, don't forget Joan is on the show. Focus on her. You know, it's about her and finding love. Because they were concerned, you know, that it just becomes, you know, the big bromance happening. And it really is. You spend so much time with these guys, and it's just so awesome. You know, I've got great friendships already out of this. You know, we stay in contact. You know, even from the first night, Jordan and I hit it off right away, just ribbing each other. He just reminded me of buddies, my fraternity buddies, guys that I grew up with in Chicago, Indiana area. So we hit it off right away. Dan, you know, Mark, I mean, I could list all and on. But the one thing we all did talk about, a lot of guys have trouble finding guys our age to hang out with. We're all single, and you meet somebody and they're, you know, dating someone in a relationship, they're married, they don't have time, they have different interests in you. So there were a lot of us that just had similar interests, you know, whether it be sports, kids, you know, families, lifestyles.
Is there like a bros trip coming up? Are we gonna get together with the guys and?
Oh yeah.
Where we going?
I can't. I'm not going to tease that one. That one.
Mexico, perhaps?
Somewhere warm though, you know.
No, this one's going to be cold. It'll be a sporting event. There'll be a few of us there.
Okay,
it'll be good. But yeah, we get together whenever possible. It's I've already seen, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 of the guys already, because I travel for work and I get to see them, you know, when I'm in LA, Chicago. You know, you can figure out then who I'm looking at.
That's not, what do you do for work?
Sales, electronic components, hardware sales. Been doing it for same stuff since '86, since I moved out here.
All right. You're not gonna quit and become an influencer now?
No. I got back. I told my boss, I said, "You're going to hear me say retirement a lot. I don't want to retire yet. I'm liking my job." That was for Joan.
There you go. We love that. Before we let you go, Keith, were you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I can talk all day. So
yeah.
Keep asking
listen, it's really been fun again watching you guys. You guys are full of life and wisdom, and can you leave us with, like, I think, you know, as we get older, we learn some hard but useful truths about life. You know, things we take for granted younger in life. But like, what is some wisdom that you could, like, something you've learned along the way about love, relationships, friendships, whatever it is? Drop us with some like good life advice.
I got a long list, but the one thing is, you know, don't hide from love. You know, I love my life. I love what it is, but I think I've hidden from actually finding love and hiding those emotions. And as we get older, don't be scared to show your emotions and go after what you want.
I love that.
Okay.
That was great. We appreciate
great.
that. Keith, it's been so fun. I wish we could talk longer, but we unfortunately have to let you go. We wish you the best. Do you have one more question?
Are your DMs open if you are if you're not with Joan? Say you're not with Joan. Are your DMs open?
Well, if I weren't with Joan, then
exactly.
they possibly,
they
yes,
possibly
they would.
be
They
open.
possibly would be. Yes,
Okay.
possibly.
I wonder if my mom would slide into a DM.
What's your type?
I'm not saying she should test the waters, but don't hide away from
Don't
love.
hide from love.
Don't hide from love.
There you
Go
go.
full circle. What is your type, Keith? And then we'll let you go.
Yeah, type. I want a funny, intelligent, independent woman.
Okay.
Somebody who is comfortable with themselves, knows what they want, and embraces life.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right. Well, expect
Perfect.
a couple slides.
I'm hoping.
After last night's episode,
Well, if it doesn't work out with Joan,
No, yes.
Yeah, listen, we saw last night's episode, and I can confidently say she's with Chalk. That's just me. No spoilers here. I'm totally guessing here, but you don't come back from your mom's funeral unless you're in love. And I'm just saying, she seems like she's in
There were a
love.
lot. I will say this: there are a lot of people. You think you always hear about the show. Are you there for the right reasons? And I will say there are a lot of us that were there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I believe
Keith,
that.
thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure getting to know you. Great meeting you in person the last week, and we hope to see you again soon.
All right, I'll talk to you. Have a good one.
Bye,
Take care.
Keith.
Bye bye.
So sweet.
I just love these guys.
I do.
When Charles and who else, your boy went home?
Charles L. and Dan. Is that what you're gonna say?
Dan's
When they were
guy.
outside and then the guys came to greet
I was so crushed
them.
that Dan went home.
Because then he said, "I live alone." That's the part that I was like,
I love Dan so much.
I think most of these
Yeah.
guys live alone.
I know, but just to think about that.
He was just saying how like coming out of this experience, how it's gonna suck a little bit because he's like, I'm so used now to having these guys, and I go back home to my apartment alone.
And
it
it
was
made
kinda
sense why
sad.
they bonded so much is because a lot of them have grown, like their children don't live with them. They're single for whatever that reason is, but like they genuinely
These
live
guys
alone.
haven't done something like this since they were maybe teenagers
Or
like
college.
college,
Yeah.
like the whole like kind of very summer camp and getting together with friends and living with your people.
Gary also left, so your homeboy.
I know, it's so sad. I love him. He's
Oh,
just
it's
such
sweet
a
man.
tender-hearted
It's so
man.
hard when they leave because you want them all to stay, and then you're like, "That's not the show."
Paradise.
Ah,
I don't-
I know.
Does
You
that
don't-
work?
Why wouldn't it?
Because Paradise is built on like messiness, is it not? Like I want them to
Yeah,
be friends. Like I
kind
need
of.
like a summer camp vibe of like just bring everybody there so they can hang
It's
out.
Maybe
true. I don't want
yeah.
the drama.
You
I
don't-
don't
no.
want it.
The thing is, you're talking about like age groups too, where I'm like
That's
the same way
true.
that you would expect that The Bachelor and Golden Bachelor would be the same. It's like these people have life experience. They're not like going to be messy the way that when you're in your 20s and figuring your life out and being like, no, but I want to marry him. And it's like, honey, you don't even know how many boyfriends you're about to go through before you end up at your husband. But
That's
like for
true.
sure, this seems like everything so worth creating the drama. But I think older people would handle it with a lot more grace.
Maybe, yeah.
Will you text whoever you need to text about getting my mom on?
No.
I've seen those little commercials.
I know.
If you
That's
know
why
somebody,
every time
apply
I see
for
him,
the Golden
I'm like,
Bachelor.
we don't want to be too late here.
They probably got
You
thousands
know?
already.
They probably do
That
have thousands
10,000.
already.
10,000.
You're right, 10,000.
I love Joey. I really do. Love Joey. We become friends.
The Bachelor, Joey?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when he called his dad, or it was father-in-law, soon to be father-in-law, Kelsey's dad, and what was the advice he gave? Just do what you're gonna do, and it's all gonna be
Work
okay.
out how it should.
It is.
Yeah.
We're like, great advice, Joey.
Just do what you do, and the doing does.
Joey said to make it count. That was like his final. Just make it
But
count.
make it count.
Go make it count.
Because you're going to be the next
Because whatever you do, it's gonna do its thing.
Yeah.
It was great. It wasn't like very helpful.
What did you think of the ice skating date when was it Jordan who fell?
He fell so hard.
I
and
think
then
they
she
were-
was just cracking up.
I was like, God, you should not be
Evil.
having these older people by ice skating when they're not good.
That's true. You can break a bone.
You break a hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, osteoporosis.
Yeah, it seemed mean.
It was just funny to see her laugh because, like, if I was in the position, I'd be like, "That's so evil for you to be like cracking up in front of me," and I'm like struggling, and now you're pulling me behind, and you're the girl and I'm the guy. I'm like, "Oh my god."
I'm going to cut Joan a break. Sometimes there is nothing funnier
That's
than
true.
watching someone fall. And it's like, as much as I'm concerned and I hope you're okay, and as long as you're laughing too and not like crying, I might still laugh.
Yeah, evil.
Well, they're sweet, and I don't know if she doesn't pick Chalk.
He came back.
He came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I don't
same
know.
episode.
Is that normal?
I know. Nick and I were like, if he could miss like maybe 1-2 episodes and then come back, and then it was like, well,
Well, yeah, 'cause
and then the night.
we were watching it in the beginning of the episode. Jones is like, I literally haven't pictured falling in love with anyone else since my husband's passing until I met Chalk. Then Chalk's mom passes. He has to leave. And you're like, wait, what? This is not the same as when Joan left old Gare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like, okay, yeah, like he wasn't your guy, Joan, you know? But it was like, oh, he can't leave now. And then, yeah, Nelly and I were like, well, it's just like this many days and, he could be gone for like a week and only miss like an episode and a half, but same episode.
Yep.
So I think he's only gone for like 1 or 2 days. His mom's affairs must have already been in order, as they
Mhm.
say. And he went to just kind of
Check in.
lay her to rest and immediately came back for his lady. He came back for his lady. That's love.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like they move on with the show if he's not Jones' guy.
I am surprised you called it from episode 1 based off of nothing.
Yeah.
You just saw this man's face and you were like, top runner.
Well, I just thought he was a front runner. I didn't call him a winner at that point.
Yeah.
But, now I am.
I was going to say also, Nick's batting average at this point is pretty
I'm
on
pretty
par.
good with
yeah,
the show.
That's true.
when it comes to Bachelor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell when they really
He
love
knows
each
the
other.
formula and the
Yeah.
sauce. and how it's supposed to taste.
There's real love there. All right, we'll finish up with RHONY. It's her early season. I don't know. Bryn's really kind of mean sometimes. The whole tap water thing was kind of funny, but
That was funny.
So petty.
It was petty, but like smart in New York, I'm assuming.
my biggest surprise of this episode is Aaron. I mean, just talking about your husband's taking money from you is a choice when it comes to, exposing your marriage on TV. That was a choice.
Did she phrase it as taking money away from her?
She said,
phrased it
one day I walked into my Bitcoin account and then the money was gone.
That she was saving up for something with it.
And when you start doing that that is calling out your husband in a public way.
Because she framed it more of like, he's not stealing, he's just dishonest. She kept saying like, when you're not honest about the finances and the debt that we apparently have.
Well, that's a crazy thing to say about your husband on television.
It's more like, it is.
But then it's interesting because then Abe didn't clap back, but he responded with like, well, I'm faced with the pressure of like, when I met you, you were being flown around by like these men and like, I have to provide that lifestyle for you. So that's where he's like, I make mistakes along the way of trying to create this facade of like, we have all this money.
That's not how you do it.
No. I agree. It's not.
I just don't think anyone's expecting you to be dishonest in order to fulfill a lifestyle that she didn't specifically ask for. I just think it's such a cop-out, like.
It's a very man machismo like provider thing.
Well, yeah, but in a bullshit way.
Yeah.
You're not actually doing the providing. You're playing the victim because you can't handle the expectations of being a provider, of which my understanding is she didn't ever set that expectation with him. He's just throwing in her face who she used to date.
I don't know,
which kind of seems unfair.
They're not very clear about like, I mean, she said something about she thought a mortgage was paid off, which it wasn't. And so I think he took the money from the Bitcoin to pay off some of the mortgages.
That's what it sounded like. There's a couple details that were floating of like a business in the past that also failed. And then
her like bathing suit line or something. But it's like, I don't know, because I see this stuff on like restaurant shows and things where I do feel bad for like the person that's in charge of finances or whatever, and things
they're
go
keeping it afloat.
awry and they're trying to fix it instead of burden the other person who probably doesn't fully understand it anyways and be like, I don't want you to panic, I can fix this. And then unfortunately it getting into a deeper debt or a deeper hole that like you can't really dig yourself out of to have to confess it. I don't know. I just feel like I get why he would be embarrassed and trying to fix it behind her back versus like maybe Aaron doesn't really seem like the most cordial person, I think, in the sense of like confronting with an issue. Because if you even saw how they sat down, Bryn and Aaron, they were already like ready to go at it before they were ready to fix it.
Bryn was kind of like giving fuck you attitude.
For sure.
And she was hostile.
She was snarky, yeah.
And I was going to say, I said, Aaron kind of has like a little bit of like a defensive air about her. And so I kind of feel like I don't know what it's like to be married to her. And I don't want to speculate, but I'm just like, maybe he just felt like he could fix it and then didn't. And then therefore embarrassed her even more so. So I don't know. I kind of feel bad for him because it's a lot of responsibility. And especially if you're doing it like I would be fine in a 1-bedroom apartment, but I know you want the penthouse. So let me do everything in my power. And if I fail you, I don't want you to leave me. Like, I don't know. You just don't know how much further the issues in their marriage go for them to be presenting it this way.
They kept it aloof.
Yeah.
It was also kind of interesting, Rebecca Minkoff getting into the whole Scientology.
No comment.
She raised a point. She's like, well, I'm not going to have that conversation here. In a helicopter, I can barely hear you.
I mean, that's fair. And Jenna made a comment like, listen, every religion has its extremes.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one.
Jenna's is puppies and ice cream.
Yep, Jenna's is puppies and ice cream. But I do think it's still a disingenuous comment. And I understand Scientology is a worldwide recognized religion, but like a lot of the things they are accused of is pretty
crazy.
Mm-hmm. And it seems, I don't know. I understand every religion has its extremisms, but yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of questions about Scientology.
It sounds like she's going to bring it up.
Yeah, I'm very fascinated. I hope they dive in more because you usually don't get people in Scientology talking about Scientology.
Right.
And that is the one thing, because like while there are extremes in every religion, there's plenty of Catholics and Christians and Muslims and Buddhists who like have no problem talking about their faith and proudly talk about it, and they're not cagey about it. So I am interested if Rebecca talks more about it this season. I do want to pivot to OC right before we close. The Tamara's comments about Shannon. Can you read those? Because I thought they were kind of, I hate to say it, but it made a lot of sense, her comments.
Tamara Judge talks about what it's been like watching the season back. It's been a season that I've watched where I've gone, really? This is how it's coming out? I'm very shocked in the sense that, here we have Shannon, whose drinking has been talked about for 10 years since she's been on the show, gets a DUI, hit and run. hurts herself, goes to jail, and for some reason she's the victim. In my world, I just don't understand it. But then if I was a viewer watching the show, I would think the same because she's really good at playing the victim and poor me.
It's hard to read that comment and not acknowledge that it makes sense.
Yeah,
what
I mean,
Tamara's saying.
also Shannon has said multiple times, "I'm not the victim, I'm the survivor."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I feel like she's trying to. Shannon intentionally is avoiding that narrative, but like Tamara's like, "No, this is what you're doing."
Yeah, and I thought about it because it's like no one is saying that Shannon doesn't need to be held accountable and face consequences for her actions. It's just more like we just don't think Alexis and John Jansen should be the ones holding, or Tamara should be the ones holding Shannon accountable.
Neither.
And she is holding herself accountable even in the season, showing them putting the breathalyzer in her car and everything like that, where it's just like she's obviously going through the steps that she needs to take, but it's like it's not up for other people to police how she should and shouldn't be dealing with the fallout of her DUI.
It almost kind of speaks to like how they see reality TV, where it's just like someone faces tragedy and then everyone else in their cast thinks, oh, I'm off the hook because we're all going to go after this person.
Right.
Because of what they did.
Right.
Yeah, it was just kind of an interesting comment. I don't know.
I wonder if Tamara is carbon monoxide, odorless and sucks the life out of you. From
Bryn's
from RHONY
text message.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I will say, too, even going back to the Scientology conversation, though, I mean, and this is something that just bothers me about Bryn. They brought it up, Sai and Jenna, was it, that were talking about it? But I'm like, yet again, here's another example of like something that's not so much like a sensitive subject, but like not the time nor the place to bring up the Scientology conversation. But it seemed like you're trying to do it to just already throw her under the bus unprepared. You know what I mean? And that's what she's done with all of these comments and changing the way that it came out versus the way that it's being retold, and then takes zero responsibility for it. And then what was she calling somebody Staten Island for getting upset?
And she said, get it correct. I'm an island girl or a city girl.
I also don't understand. Again, like Aaron actually said, no, I don't think she actually is getting paid by some guy. She didn't even start the rumor, and she didn't even perpetuate the rumor. She actually said she didn't believe in the rumor.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering why this is all Aaron's fault.
Because then it became, oh, you didn't shut it down.
But
she did.
She
did, but then she goes, oh, you think? So it's like, that's what Bryn's mad for. I'm not saying that's valid.
I mean, I love Bryn and all, but like, and I think she's an interesting character, but
Bryn clearly didn't watch it. Bryn didn't watch the clip, or she saw it once and then made it into something else. Like you can tell that's what happened.
What she does.
I mean, as people who offer commentary on these shows, like, you know, sometimes we say shit that pisses people off, and like that's on us. Like it's on Jeff Lewis, you know? It's like he said that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why Aaron's taking the fall for it. I don't know. Anyways, that is our show today. Be sure to tune in next week. We have an explosive week for you next week. We have a major going deeper episode I am excited for you all to listen to. Plus, as you know, our reality recaps will be serving. Charles will hopefully be joining us when he gets internet connections. Plus, we have many more exciting guests to bring to you. Don't forget, we got to Ask Nick on Mondays. Be sure to support all the people facing these horrible hurricanes. We will give you a link in our bio if you want to support all the people in need. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.